Alright, everyone. If you're watching the chat, let me know if you can hear me, because this is the first stream I've done since, I think, July, and I had to reset up everything to make sure it's all working, too. As we're a few minutes away from the round 1 of the 2025 NFL Draft, and looking forward to it. As got a couple buddies here, although Aaron, unfortunately, doesn't seem to be showing up right now with a headache. Someone else isn't showing up yet. And 2 other people I DM'd haven't replied yet. It's just me and Tiger Shark at the moment. As doing some checks to make sure sound's working first. Alright. Let me check the stream again. Waiting for reply. As for 4 minutes away. Talk about in a moment. Alright, let me go do this. Alright, can you hear me though again?
Oh, look! I got an ad!
Yeah, the new ad setup they're doing. If you didn't know.
Yeah.
But you hear myself in the stream, right?
Yes, I do hear you.
Yay! So, we're about to begin. Of course, Aaron hasn't shown up yet. Matthew and Angel haven't showed up yet. It's just you and me right now, of course.
I hope they missed the whole thing, because it's gonna be chaotic.
Sure, pal. Alright, so anyways, as like I said, a few minutes away. So I guess we'll begin to talk about let me go get NFL.com up to get the order.
That set up.
Actually, no, not NFL.com. Their site always sucks for me. ESPN, maybe. So we get the draft order. Because
I have pulled up to on my.
Because there was a trade earlier today with the Texans.
On the TV. Yeah, switching back and forth between Discord and.
Alright, but anyways, there was a trade with the Texans did earlier for like a 5th round pick or something like that. But nothing so far involving the first. So, of course, we take a look at the current order. The Titans this year have the number 1 overall pick. First time since 2016. And this time, hey, funny enough, just like in 2015, the 2016 draft, the Titans and Browns are the top 2 picks. But it looks like no trading them away like they did in 2016. This is technically, I think, the first time the Titans had the number 1 overall pick since like the 70s. It's been a long time. Otherwise, 2016 when they traded it away. But anyways,
yeah.
The top picks, of course, number 1's the Titans. Number 2 is the Browns. Then 3rd's Giants. 4th Patriots. 5th Jaguars. 6th Raiders. 7th the Jets. 8th Panthers. 9th Saints. 10th Bears. 11th 49ers. 12th Cowboys. 13th Dolphins. 14th Colts. 15th Falcons. 16th Cardinals. 17th Bengals, 18th Seahawks, then we get to like the playoff teams, 19th Buccaneers, 20th Broncos, 21st Steelers, 22nd Chargers, 23 Packers, 24 Vikings, then divisional round losers, 25 Texans, 26 Rams, 27 Ravens, 28 Lions, conference championship runner-ups, 29th Commanders, 30th Bills, then the Super Bowl loser Chiefs, and then the last pick the Eagles as a Super Bowl winner. No exact order, no trade so far I've noticed in this first round. A couple of years, remember, there have been a couple different spots. Yeah. But everyone so far has 1 pick. I'm sure that will change as the night goes on, as when is the last time we've had no trade in a season? I mean, a draft, right? Alright. So, of course, we're now about to start.
So, I want to do this.
What?
I want to shove this in your face for a second. So who said Bo Nix sucks now?
I don't think I said Bo Nix sucks. Other than the first 2 games of the year.
I know someone did. No, I know someone did. It's like, oh no, that's the worst pick. Not the worst pick, but not the best QB pick.
That's why.
At least he made it to the playoffs.
Yep, first time the Broncos made in 9 years. That was the second longest drought, remember, too. Now the Jets have the longest drought still.
Yeah.
And
yeah, so we're not the Jets. Yay, we beat the Jets. That's something.
I think the Falcons and Panthers have the second longest drought since 2017. Since I think the Broncos were the last one since 2015. All right, so of course it's now 8. The draft is underway, or at least it will be in a moment when Goodell comes up, where everyone boos him, of course. So, of course, the Titans have the number 1 overall pick, like I said, first time since 2016, but their first actual one really since the 70s if they don't trade away like they did in 2016. So, of course, the Titans last year, they went 3-14, and just like I thought, they were one of the worst teams in the league, which I predicted me going into the year, remember, last year, and I was right on the mark, and they got the number 1 overall pick. Now, of course, who should they draft? Well, they have needs pretty much everywhere. Like, there's like nothing like good on the Titans. The fact that their defense was like top 10 or some categories last year is quite astonishing as I'm loading up my old predictions thing from last year because I have some updated team results if it would just load up Word. So yeah, they really need needs everywhere, but quarterback definitely is going to be the biggest need. But
they got him his own room, man.
But of course, unlike last year, this year doesn't sound like it's a big quarterback season. I mean, quarterback draft this year. It sounds like not very good quarterbacks this year. Only one really number one first round pick.
I think Tennessee's gonna get the QB first because they definitely need a QB.
But either way, though,
I think if they go for a QB now, it would be the best play they can do.
Now, of course, these stats are from Week 17. They don't update to Week 18, but this is the Titans' defense last year was very strange. They were 30th in points allowed. They were 22nd run defense, but they were 2nd in total yards and 2nd passing yards. They have, like, the 2nd best yards defense and pass defense, yet they went 3-14. But with them being 30th in points and 22nd rush defense, I think it's very obvious. They got so destroyed that teams just said, we'll just run the ball, burn the clock, and finish off the game with the wins. We don't need to pass it. We're already winning. But that still, to me, is very strange how a 3-14 team has the 2nd best pass defense and passing yards total. Now, of course, remember, this does not include the final game of the year. Maybe I should look up. Maybe Pro Football Reference has their stats from last year, which would be up to date. But yeah, Titans really need any position would be good pretty much. They're just terrible in every single regard, but QB would definitely need to be. They definitely need a QB really badly. As we're just waiting for the draft to actually start.
But right now, our QB slot for the Broncos is filled because Bo Nix was a good pick on us.
Well, when we get to the Broncos, maybe you can get your thoughts on who they should take. Let's look up the Titans.
Sure.
God, they allowed 460 points last year, Titans did. That's insane. And, of course, Pro Football Reference just says their points...
I think it is a tight end and a DL. But Bo Nix has the QB position full now. So he's doing a good job. And get ready for the boost.
Unless he has a second-year slump, pal. like Stroud did this last year, remember? Oh, I got a bunch of notifications.
Why is he riding on a bike? Please fall! Please fall! Please fall like Joe Biden did that one time.
Goodell coming in on a bike. That is interesting. Remember in the 2011 draft when the lockout happened and everyone was like, we want football? Mm-hmm. Oh, other people come out on the bike. Alright, I'm still trying to figure out where I can look up NFL team stats. Let me see. Because I really want to see the updated Titans stats.
I can look. Are you talking about record?
Because Pro Football Reference did not really help me. NFL.com sucks, and they're probably not going to have good categorization. Let's see what ESPN does. You know, ESPN, it would be nice if you loaded. Just saying. Oh yeah, draft in Green Bay this year as well. Wasn't in Detroit last season?
Just to tell you, the next NFL draft will be taking place.
Where?
Well, sing so I can hear you more clearly.
Where's the next?
So I'm gonna move it.
Where's
you
next?
sound clear on the YouTube end. That's not on my end. So hold on. I'm gonna mute myself while I move my mic.
But you said where's the 2026 draft going to be at? Come on, ESPN. You need to load fast so I can look up the Titan stats. Load faster. Okay, that's team stats. I want not player stats. I want team stats. Okay, that's not very helpful. I guess I'll have to look up freaking NFL. I wonder if their site's gonna be like how it was like in the early 2010s, late 2000s. God, you broke up a lot there when you were talking.
Yeah, I just loaded it on my Xbox, so.
Good start, NFL site.
So
You're not even loading.
And the draft at the same time. So.
I love how the draft. I love how NFL.com site's not loading up as always. Piece of shit. I'm gonna go get my tablet since I need the phone for the chat.
I have my phone on me at all times, just in case. Oh God!
I swear, NFL.com, NFL, you need to fix your site. It's been shitty for the last several years. Like, it's so slow on everything, for God's sake. I can't stand it. Especially...
Oh no, here we go.
And also, be on time for the freaking schedule release in next month, so I can do my stream on it.
That's the most.
And what
is the most.
And what are you laughing your ass off?
Okay, so they received a message from Donald Trump, and it said the Bears still suck.
The who?
The Bears. The team.
Right.
Wow, that's a low blow.
Well, I mean, they do suck.
True.
Got to reload my manga really quick
Here
before
we
I look
go.
up
They're officially
NFL.com.
on the clock, by the way. Tennessee is officially on the clock.
15 minutes. I gotta go look up something really quickly as well. Oh, they got 10 minutes now. Guess they've been on the clock longer than that. It's supposed to be 15 minutes normally, I think, remember. Alright, so we'll see. What will the Titans do? Because really, they just need to be fixed everywhere.
Travis Hunter's gonna go in round one.
Like, any position.
Sorry, I'm just gonna be an idiot for a second while I talk out loud.
If they just need any position, any upgrade would be good for them. They can't.
He's gonna be drafted in the first round. No shit, Sherlock.
But they definitely need a quarterback. Definitely the most important one. But either position would be fine.
But yeah, I do believe the Titans or Browns or Giants are gonna take Travis Hunter. Like, who is dumb enough to not take him?
Unless you don't need what is he, a corner?
Wow.
So apparently the Giants offered multiple first-round picks to the Titans to move up to the number one spot, and they said no. So the Titans, just like in 2016, were offered trades, but this time around they said no. So
this time they were smart about it.
They're probably committed to someone, but we'll see very soon who it is.
Yeah. Oh, someone's getting a call already.
What?
Someone got a call on my screen. But I doubt it's for the
Titans still have 8 minutes, and then the Browns are right afterwards. Now I've got my manga already set up. Now they go look up.
For some reason.
Let's look up. NFL.com on my tablet. Please be better.
Excuse me.
Let's look up. Come on, site. Load up teams so I can look up Titans. Hopefully it'll be like old website was in the late 2000s, early 2010s, where it actually showed each team's offense, defense, points per game, yards, passing yards, and rushing yards. Let's see. Teams. Titans. And don't load up their site, please. Just load up NFL site, Titans page. Alright, Titans still got 7 minutes.
I do believe someone from Colorado is going to get off the board, at least in the first 3 picks. I bet you. The first 3 picks is going to not be all from Colorado, but one of them is going to be from Colorado. Do you agree with that?
I don't pay attention to college football, so I can't really say anything. That's why I don't trash talk any picks there, maybe, because I just don't know how they're going to be, and that's why I keep my mouth shut.
I know somebody talk. No, it's like mid-season they talk shit about Bo Nick.
The only
like
time
middle of the preseason.
The only time I shit on him was the first 2 weeks where he was terrible. After that, he finally started playing good.
Yeah.
Ooh, what a catch that was! All right,
Yeah.
so let's see. Still nothing really good. Man, site, come on, can't you be like how you used to be?
Oh, wait.
Wait,
So they did set on someone.
I actually know
they're just
it's-
calling. You're just getting the phone back and forth. Wait.
I have an idea. I'm going to go onto the site that I used when I do my NFL picks to see their stats there.
Excuse me?
Hopefully it'll be updated. Titans. Let's see, stats.
I just want to tell you what my setup is. Hold on.
Oh, so they're still second in yards
This is
and
what my
passing yards.
setup
That's
looks
insane.
like.
So yeah, according to the site I used for my NFL picks, Titans were offense were. Okay, shut up, Fing. Don't. Oh, come on! Why'd you do an update on the site right when I'm about to look at the stuff?
I'm just shit.
All right. So, anyways, Titans last year were 27th in points, 26th in yards, 26th in passing yards, and 19th in rushing yards. But the defense 30th in points, second yards allowed, second passing yards allowed, and 26th in rushing yards allowed. Again, very weird defensive stat. I've never seen that for a terrible team.
Titans pick is in.
Oh wait, no, it still says 5
Sorry to
minutes
interrupt,
in.
but the Titans pick is in.
Well, it still says nothing yet for me. Still says 5 minutes. I mean 4.
It did
Up
for
now
me.
it's in. All right,
So
maybe.
Cleveland is officially in it. Yeah.
Sounds like you are.
So
Sounds
Cleveland is officially on the clock.
Sounds like you're ahead of me, so you're spoiling. Ah! I think you're gonna have to keep your mouth shut, pal. Then. Ah!
Well, if you look at the photo I sent, yeah. Now,
Ah! But anyways, the Titans picks in. The Browns are on the clock.
I can't spoil you the name yet. So.
Now you keep your mouth shut when I say to pick, pal.
Yeah. Once they announce the pick, I'm gonna wait at least 10 seconds.
Or your bad things will
Is that
happen to
okay?
you. Or bad things will happen to you in Minecraft. Which
Do you really need to bring that up again? This is why I cry at night sometimes.
would be nice if we could do our world again, but those natural textures won't load for me, so I can't load our world. That's why I haven't done my main Switch
Yeah.
world either. It's getting really stupid. Alright, as we still wait for... Oh, well, damn it, Ian Rappaport. Ooh, what's this? Let me go up Twitter.
What?
Apparently,
X.
Apparently, according to Adam Schefter, the Browns are doing a trade with the Jaguars, and the Jaguars are trying to get the Browns' number 2 pick.
Really?
Let's see.
Oh, watch her get up. Let's see.
It would be the Browns would be trading their number 2 overall pick, a 4th round pick, and a 6th round pick to Jaguars, and the Jaguars would trade their 5th pick, a 2nd round pick, and a 4th round pick, and their 1st round pick the next year too. Oh boy! So Jaguars are moving up big time. Here we go. Who are the Titans picking?
In the 2024 The Tennessee Titans select Cameron Ward, quarterback.
And the Titans took the quarterback, which they needed to do.
Yeah, it was either. I didn't. I think it was either Miami
Yes, it is.
or Colorado going on.
So now, actually, the Jaguars, if this trade is done, they're on the clock instead. Oh boy. Gee, I wonder what Jaguar Gear 9 is going to be thinking about this trade. But still says the Browns are on the clock, unless the trade hasn't been official yet. But it says the Browns have 7 minutes. Oh. So Ian Redford said the trade did happen. So Jaguars are on the clock now. Interesting.
Yeah, you're right.
How about that?
Yeah.
Our first trade and only the second pick. My goodness. All right.
I told you it's going to get crazy.
So Jaguars have the second pick. So now, of course, they got 7 minutes left. So instead of talking about the Browns, we'll talk about the Jaguars now. Of course, last year they were terrible. It was funny. I didn't think they were gonna be. I thought they were gonna be like 7 wins last year. I remember at the end of the 2023 season, Jaguar Gear 9, who was an awesome NFL YouTuber, and he thought the Jaguars were gonna be like 5-12 the next 2 years. I was like, oh come on, man, they're not gonna be that bad. Oh boy, they did better than that. They went 4-13 somehow. My goodness. So yeah, really have a lot of holes.
What? Hold on, what? Never mind.
They have a lot of holes to fill, except for QB, though. That's the first team that does not need a QB right now, so they're stuck with Lawrence right now. So, good on the Titans finally getting their QB. That'll be interesting, because the AFC South, like the last several years, has been pretty weak. Maybe that could be good enough for the Titans to be back in competitiveness for this. But still, right now, probably see them being like one of the worst teams right now. But hey, we'll have to wait and see. So let me look up Jaguar stats really quickly.
What do you mean? Hold on. What do you mean the Broncos need a defensive lineman?
What? I didn't say anything about the Broncos.
No. I'm just complaining about the NFL website. It says we need a defensive lineman.
Maybe you do.
Maybe,
right.
But
so now we look up the Jaguars.
I think that's near the end.
Jaguars points are offense are 26th in points, 25th in yards, 24th in passing yards, and 26th in rushing yards. So terrible. Defense 27th in points allowed, 31st in yards allowed, 32nd passing yards allowed. So they're the worst pass defense and 25th in rushing yards. Definitely need to focus on that defense probably more, but the offense definitely needs some things too fixed. And the Jaguars got 5 minutes left, and after that will be the Giants. So yeah, what do you think the Jaguars should be doing?
Is it Jaguars first or Giants? I can't tell.
Giants
it sounded like you just say the Giants, then the Giants again.
The Jaguars are up, and then the Giants are afterwards. And the Jaguars have 4 minutes and 40 seconds left. So what do you think the Jaguars should do? Let me load up.
The Jaguars need... I think they need to work on the defense, no offense. Like,
I mean
when you're on the defense, they would be good.
I mean, when you're when you have the worst
potential.
When you have the worst pass defense last year, second to worst rushing defense in the league. Oh boy, my goodness.
Yeah. So there's 2 ways you can go with this. So you either draft a wide receiver first, or draft a good defensive lineman. So I say draft a wide receiver first.
Really? Fix the offense first. Okay then. Less than 4 minutes left. Alright, so the picks. Jaguars trade away their 5th overall pick, 2nd, 4th round pick, and a 1st round pick next year. And they get the 2nd overall pick, a 4th round pick, and a 6th round pick. So now the Browns will have 2 1st round picks next year at the moment.
Oh, by the way, Jacksonville's pick is in. So.
Yep, and now the Giants are on the clock, and then after that will be the Patriots.
Yep. I swear to God, if the Patriots trade their pick, I would just freaking die laughing.
And why would you do that?
Because it's fucking hilarious.
I mean, if they think it'll make their team better, they will do that. Just like the Jaguars did.
Let me see. Okay.
And I might do what I always do in the NFL draft, compare the teams' records the last 5 seasons, see who's been like the worst and all that. So that would be 2020 to 2024 now. I'm gonna do that while we wait for the pick to come in.
Yeah. How'd you go?
And so we wait on the Jaguars for their pick to come in. That's the Giants. Well, Giants are on the clock, and that's the Patriots.
True. Let's start with the Tennessee Titans.
They already made their pick, remember?
Oh, fine, Jacksonville. Let's go back to Jacksonville. I was about to say, oh yeah, let's compare the records.
Well, Titans were 3-14 and Jaguars were 4-13. Jaguars swept the Titans last year. Gee, if they lost one of their games, maybe they would have had the #1 overall pick.
Yeah.
Like, man, a lot of teams choked away #1 overall pick last year, remember? Remember at one point it was like the Raiders. Then it became the Giants. Then they threw it away. Then the Patriots, if they lost the final game of the year, they would have the #1 overall pick. But they blew it, and the Titans lost, so the Titans ended up getting the #1 overall pick. So that's...
Yeah, so basically, the Titans just sniped it.
Alright, here we go. The Jaguars pick.
To announce the trade to this crowd and the second pick in this year's draft.
While we are here tonight to celebrate the 32 young men entering the NFL, I'm honored to take a moment to recognize a player who's made a profound impact on and off the field. The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, recognizes one player each year who best represents greatness and compassion both on and off the field and in the community. Tonight, we are proudly joined by the 2024 Walter
Let's announce the
Payton NFL
pick!
Man of the Year,
And you just keep your spoiler mouth shut.
Yes. Oh my god. Remember, I wait for 10 seconds, so.
Still waiting for the Jaguars pick.
I want to say thank you to the commissioner, thank you to the Payton family and the NFL and Nationwide, and also too, tonight I want to encourage each player embarking on the NFL journey to identify a passion close to their heart and act upon it. Use your platform to make your community, the league, and this world a better place. As we remember, Walter Payton, strive to leave a positive legacy of your own. Thank you. We have a trade.
Yeah, we know that, but we're waiting to see who the Jaguars take.
The Cleveland Browns have traded the second pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And with the second pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Travis Hunter.
So the Jaguars indeed took a receiver.
That's a good one.
All
and
right.
a defenseman. He's a two-way player, actually.
Oh, you're saying he's going to be like Randy Moss in my Bengals Men 2001 and 64 franchise from like a decade ago, where, oh my god, in the 2002 offseason, I signed Randy Moss and made my receiver and cornerback, and actually worked. Now, of course, this is real life. That can't work. It's one or the other. That's wild. But yeah.
But you never know. We might have a Shohei Ohtani.
Interesting. I'm kind of interested they would take a receiver. He must be like that insanely good. Because honestly, I think the defense probably needs more work done. But hey, we'll see if they get a good offense.
I told you.
But anyways, the Jaguars, just like the Titans, I think not much. Well, at least they got Trevor Lawrence, so they'll probably be better, but I don't know how much better. But hey, the AFC South is pretty weak. Anyone can get it. Just like they did 3 years ago, remember, out of nowhere. All right, so with that, now it's the Giants on the clock. And now the Giants, of course, a terrible team, and pretty much the only thing I know is Neighbors. Only thing I know is they got a good receiver. That's it. They got no one else. They badly need a quarterback, but the way it sounds... Oh, wait, no. They technically don't really need a quarterback anymore. That's right. They got Russell Wilson for a bit. So it's not an immediate need, but it's going to be a need eventually because he is old. And he's not been that good the last, year compared to previous years. So,
but
need a QB.
My setup how I'm watching the draft.
So, yeah, we'll see how they do. As they got less than 4 minutes left, and that's the Patriots. And then it'll be the Browns once again, who haven't made their move yet. So, what do you think the Browns need to do? For me, everything. Anything could be an upgrade.
Something's like trading.
I mean, a trade could happen. They did try to trade up to the Titans, but now they're at the first spot. They're probably going to take whatever they need now. I'm sure it's just to get Ward.
Yeah.
I bet they're probably mad that they couldn't move up.
Let's see what the Patriots are doing. Nothing. Okay.
There's nothing we can do about the Patriots till the Giants make their move.
Okay, the top needs for the Patriots are actually not the ones I agreed with. They definitely need a new QB.
Wait, you're saying...
No offense, they need a better QB.
Wait, you're saying the Patriots need to replace Drake May already?
I don't know why, but just have a gut feeling about it.
I thought he played okay for his rookie year. They're not going to replace a QB that quickly now. Only happened 2 times back-to-back first-round players taken.
Dude, experience it from the Broncos. Trust me, something's not right.
I mean, one of the Broncos drafted back-to-back quarterbacks in the first round. It's only happened twice, remember?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, so pick is in for the
Giants picks now
so
in. So Giants picks in. Now the Patriots are on the clock. And I'm still working on
I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go grab something, okay?
And I'm still working on the team's last 5 seasons. I already did the entire AFC East. Now I'm doing the AFC North. How many games that is? Oh, yeah. If that's correct. Alright, so we're still waiting for the Giants pick, and that's the Patriots. So now, still working on the AFC North. Yep, big trade already. That's insane. Yeah, we already know the Giants pick's in. We're still just waiting for what it is, and then it's the Patriots, and that's the Browns who already traded down. Gonna be up on here. Oh yeah, let's take a look at the Giants stats really quickly. Go back to team. Yeah, what a terrible year the Giants had, going 3-14. But of course, is anyone surprised? No.
Yeah, I'm back. Oh, just in time too.
With the 3rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Abdul Carter, defensive end, Penn State.
So the Giants took a defensive end, which is badly needed. Wasn't that one of the players earlier on early on this year that the Titans were projected to take number 1 overall? Wasn't that one of the guys?
I think so, actually.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because they need to pick badly.
Was this a year ago, or was this 2 years ago? Wait, no, it was the QB first round this time.
Yeah.
Never mind. Shut up.
Every draft had QB taken number 1 overall since 2022. 2022 is last year a non-QB was number 1 overall. Remember, Bryce Young 2 years ago. Caleb Williams last year, and now
wait, never mind.
And now Cam Ward this year. All right, so Giants got defensive end, which they badly need everywhere. All right, now the Patriots are on the clock.
Wait, we can take a look at last year's picks too from this. Never mind.
But yeah, Giants last year offensively, they were 31st in points, 30th in yards, 28th in passing yards, and 23rd in rushing yards. Yet defense, interesting there. 21st in points allowed, 24th in yards allowed, 8th in passing yards allowed, and 27th in rushing yards allowed. Oof, they had a terrible run defense. Yet their passing defense is pretty good. Sounds like a little bit like the Titans' predicament, where they were getting so blown out that people were run up the ball on them.
Oh no, they acquired them. Okay.
But yeah, Giants really need to work on that offense more than defense. But hey, good on them getting a defensive end.
If it helps, actually.
All right, now we're done with the Giants. Next up, Patriots. Of course, second year in a row, as they were 4-13 2 years in a row, completely terrible and all that. But hey, they got their QB for right now, Drake May. So no QB right now. So let's see, what do we think they need to fix? Definitely probably just offense, because oh my god, their offense probably statistically is like one of the worst in the league.
Oh my god.
They were, listen to this. Patriots offense last year, 30th in points, 31st in yards, 32nd passing yards, and 13th in rushing yards. So they had the worst passing offense in the league, and second to worst in yards allowed, and they had the third worst scoring offense. Oh my goodness. Defense, they were 22nd points allowed, 22nd yards allowed, 10th in yards allowed, and 23rd in rushing yards allowed. So yeah, that offense definitely needs work. But no new QB. You already got Drake May. Give him a chance, people. He played pretty okay last year. But yeah, really massive offensive needs for the Patriots now. Finally, the first team that has a somewhat okay defense. And what?
Just to tell you, the Patriots pick is in, and the Browns are now on the clock.
Yay! About time. So now we wait to hear what the Patriots take. And then the Browns are on the clock, unless they decide to trade away. And of course, let's see on ESPN site who has... Okay, it's the Raiders. So the Raiders are now right after the Browns. Alright. As back to work on the results from the last 5 years.
I'm gonna switch to my sports thing. Hold on. Okay, there we go.
Alright, all the AFC North's done. Now for the AFC South.
Oh, God. I'm gonna follow this just in case.
Or you'll probably fall asleep like Angel and Matthew and others have done before.
True. But I'm barely getting any sleep recently. Well, getting in a lot of sleep.
Don't let Mayumi know about that, pal.
So like around 2 o'clock, I usually sleep.
Don't let Mayumi know about that.
Sorry.
She will curse you. And judge you, and shame you and all that, and lecture you.
Oh no, I don't give a damn.
Listen to your second mom now, people, apparently. As we're still waiting for the Patriots.
I hate these types of movies.
Alright, still waiting for the Patriots pick. Browns on the clock, then the Raiders afterwards, then the Jets.
Doing these now, like they're starting to turn popular movies into live actions that is clearly unnecessary to do so. That's what ticks me off.
See, that requires creativity and stuff to think of different kind of movies. Or you could be like me too and just not pay attention to movies for like the last 15 years until your mom made you see the Minecraft movie at the beginning of the month, like happened to me.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not going to see the Minecraft movie in theaters, at least.
It was good. I don't know why people shadow on it. My mom freaking loved it. And she
Oh,
don't know
no. I'm not
anything
talking about the movie itself. I'm talking about the theater experience about the Minecraft
Chicken
movie.
jockey.
When a chicken jockey, everyone goes fucking nuts.
Yet for me, it
Like
was
an
just, oh, what's
NFL
that? Just
crowd
me
in
and my mom and
Cleveland.
some grandma with kids. Just us 5 people in the theater. I guess I was lucky. Guess what happens when you live in the middle of nowhere where I'm at. Still working on the AFC South.
Yeah, who's left? The Saints.
As it's still waiting on the
To the
Patriots.
Saints or...
We still gotta wait for the Patriots pick. Then it's the Browns, unless they trade away again.
Oh wait,
then
Carolina is part of it too.
and then it's the
So,
Raiders,
almost-
and then it's the
almost
Jets. Oh, so you're mad about Disney doing like live action remakes and stuff now?
Yeah, but the Lion King ones I kind of like, especially the new Mufasa movie.
Wish
The
they
new Mufasa movie was actually pretty good.
wish they went back to 2D and maybe did some anime. That would be really cool.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I like animated movies. I don't know why.
Yeah, 2D is better, especially if it's anime, people. All the live action stuff sucks ass. Then again, who cares what I think?
Well,
I
not
don't watch
all
movies.
live action sucks, so...
Well, when you compare to like remakes of
Don't just-
2D movies,
Do not change Fast and the Furious to a not live action, but anime. For the love of God.
I mean, they've changed the thing so much since like the Force 4 movies that I don't really enjoy much anymore.
Yeah.
Back in my day, Fast and the Furious was just illegal street racing. Now they're doing heists and all that, and not even really involving spruced up cars or whatever. So dumb.
In my opinion, this should have just ended at 7.
4! Alright, just
4, 7, 1 or 2, but other than that, it was good.
as they're waiting for the Patriots
Finally!
As they're waiting for the Patriots pick. Oh, and I finished the AFC South. Now for the AFC West.
With the fourth pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Will Campbell, tackle, LSU.
So the Patriots
just
took an
tell you-
offensive lineman. Which
Just to tell you, the Browns pick is in already, and the Raiders are now on the clock.
Alright, so we wait on the Browns again as Patriots took their O-lineman, which they badly need. And we'll take a look at the Browns in a moment. After I finish this part of the AFC West, people.
I think the most brutal division right now, in my opinion, is the AFC West.
I would say the NFC North. Think of it. 15-2
You can
Lions.
say both.
15-2 Lions, 14-3 Vikings, 11-6 Packers, and then the Bears.
Yeah. Same thing for the
Alright, so
AFC West. We got the Chiefs, Broncos,
well the
Chargers,
Chiefs
and
were
Raiders.
well the Raiders suck, remember, and the Chiefs really were not that impressive last year, remember. That's why no one took them seriously.
Yeah.
Alright, so now for the Browns. Let's see. You say their picks and yet it still says they haven't done their pick yet. Alright, but
Yeah,
anyways.
but-
So the Browns
It says
last
it on
year.
my screen, on my laptop actually.
So the
It says it
Browns.
on my laptop.
So the Browns last year completely imploded, like an 8-win regression. They had their worst season since 2017. What a horrible year it was. Their
Check.
and their offense was horrible. Maybe you should have kept Flacco, like I said, screaming at the end of 2023. Oh, they brought him back
I
1 year
should've
too
gone.
late. Ah.
if they draft anything.
So,
Wait, hold on. This is mind-boggling. They needed a QB, and they just handed a good QB. Oh wait, never mind.
yep.
I thought another QB got selected in the second
and,
round.
and Watson, of course, sounds like might not be playing this year with injuries. Gee, who would have thought? One of the worst trades ever. So yeah, Browns need a QB badly, but who knows what they're going to do now since sounds like the only good QB right now has been taken.
This gets funny. Why I heard something funny? Oh, they traded a pick just to lose a good wide receiver to the Jaguars.
It must have been that offer was too good. Now the pick's finally in, so now the Raiders should be on the clock. So anyways, the Browns had the worst score in offense in the league. They were 20th in yards, 22nd passing yards, and 29th in rushing yards. Defense, they were 27th in points allowed, 19th in yards allowed, 12th in passing yards, 21st in rushing yards. So their defense outside of their points allowed actually weren't too bad, although they just kept allowing too many points. Oh yeah, I didn't say what I think about the Patriots this year. I think they'll probably be about the same right now. Don't see much improvement. I don't see much improvement yet for the first 4 teams that made their picks. Browns, however, I think could make a big turnaround if they have their good defense and, more importantly, not have shitty offense. That's what I said last year. It's the last few years it was going to be about how Watson played. He's played like crap every year. As the Browns picks in as we wait for the Raiders afterwards. And that's the Jets.
Hold on. What? Oh, wait. Oh, there's people up there. Guess what? Talking.
Right.
Do you know? I can actually go back to 2024 and see what pick the Broncos picked in. So let's see if there's a huge leap. Oh, not a huge leap.
Didn't they do like a trade in the middle or somewhere as well?
So in the 12th round, not 12th round, in the first round and got 12th pick, that was selected, yeah, so I think we did a trade with somebody before the, so yeah.
Alright, as we still wait on the Browns, and the Raiders are on the clock. And all the AFC's done, now for the NFC teams. Up here comes Goodell.
With the 5th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Mason Graham, defensive tackle, Michigan.
So the Browns took a defensive tackle. Interesting. I guess all the really elite offensive players have now been taken now. So interesting that they're going to work on the defense when the offense is the main problem.
Okay, that is shocking.
Yep. Like I said, I think the Browns could make a good
They
turnaround.
shouldn't draft a wide receiver. Why not draft a wide receiver? I don't get it.
Because the best one was already taken, coach. So yeah, I think
got more QBs up there.
they might not have been good enough for the 5th pick, coach. You know how it is.
God damn it.
So,
Browns, come on, you messed it up again.
well, I mean, they had the number 2 overall pick, so they couldn't get their QB since the Titans had them. All right, now for the Raiders, of course. Last year, I thought the Raiders could have been a potential playoff team because their defense was really good, their offense just needed work, and they completely imploded, and were like the first team that looked like they were going to have the number 1 overall pick until they choked near the end, win 2 irrelevant games.
Wow.
So, anyways,
apparently the Raiders in Las Vegas wants to choke a lot.
So, anyways, they had the 29th offense, 27th yards in offense, 13th passing offense, and 32nd rushing offense. So they had the worst rushing offense in the league. Ugh. Defense, they were 25th in
I want to
points,
point this out.
15th in yards, 15th in passing yards, and 13th in rushing yards.
To Las Vegas now.
What?
Oakland lost both its teams that used to play in the Oakland Coliseum to Las Vegas.
Wasn't the Athletics though like more like a temporary thing or something?
Yeah, until the new one get built. They have no city or state name. They're just called the Athletics.
But yeah, so Raiders.
Alright, by the way, the Jets are now on the clock.
So the Raiders must have made their pick. But yeah, the Raiders definitely need work on their offense. They need a QB too, but oh, that's right, they got Geno Smith, but yeah, he's not really that good anymore after that freak wonder 2022 season. They really need a QB badly, but they'll probably not be able to get one now. So apparently he says the Raiders picks in, so then the Jets are on the clock. So anyways, if that's true, after the Jets, it's the Panthers, the Saints, and then the Bears. As, of course, we wait on them now back to the NFC East for 5 years.
Yeah.
Everyone enjoying the draft so far? I sure am. Yay!
I still have my colostomy bag from last year. Yay! Just to tell you, I don't own... The only team-owned thing I have that's from the NFL, it's clearly from the Broncos. But I'm so huge in... Because I'm a Broncos fan, duh. But I decided to wear a Milwaukee Brewers hat because that's the closest thing that's in Green Bay.
Me, of course, with my Super Bowl 48 jersey in my closet. Then, oh my god.
Hold on, I'm getting hot in here. I'm just gonna...
Oh, I'm sure you're like, no, not Super Bowl 48. Ah, don't remind me of that. And of course, my dad with all his Ravens jerseys in his closet. And here comes Goodell for the Raiders pick. Here we go.
With the 6th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Ashton Jeanty.
And the Raiders take a running back, which they badly needed if they let Josh Jacobs go a few years ago. Yeah. Which makes perfect sense that they had the worst rushing offense in the league last year. Good on them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the big needs. So
since they can't get their quarterback.
Smart idea.
So the Raiders, I think... I mean, their defense is still okay. So if their offense isn't so shitty, maybe they could be a sneaky wild card team, perhaps. But they're going to have a tough time that loaded AFC West. That's going to be tough. So I don't think probably much improvement. All right, so now that the Raiders are done, next up is the Jets. And of course,
which the pick is already in. Good job, Jets.
And of course, remember last year we thought maybe with Rodgers finally playing, maybe they could be good, but nope. They kept choking away games they had and all that, as always with the Jets. And they had a terrible season. And now they brought Justin Fields in to be their QB, so they're going to give him a chance. So their QB needs are full for right now as we take a look at their stats. 24th in points, 24th in yards, 26th in passing yards, and 31st in rushing yards. So they had the second worst rushing offense behind the Raiders. Defense, they were 20th in points, 3rd in yards, 4th in passing yards, and 17th in rush yards. So their defense was actually pretty good. Yet they couldn't get victories done.
I think it was more on the offense side of what's going on.
They had so many games like I even did a thing on playoff predictions a few months ago. Given the Jets their victories, if they were within one score game, their 5-12 record in real life. If they won all the games they had within one score, guess what they would be like?
Yeah.
They would have been 13-4 if they won all their close games. So yeah, Jets definitely need fix on the offense. Of course, they're not going to get their QB since they have Fields. Speaking of Rodgers, he's still a free agent, guys. He keeps just shooting himself in the foot to get a job.
No, Broncos do not take it. We got Bo next.
Of course they're not
Bo
going to.
next, we believe in him.
They're not going to take him for crying out loud. Remember they almost could have in 2021. Remember that time? That could be an interesting NFL theory in the future. What if he did go to the Broncos in 2021? Wouldn't that be interesting?
Good. Oh yeah.
Hey, you would have that MVP. You'd get that MVP 2021 season out of him at least, and it would save you from Russell Wilson.
Good point. Good point. No arguments there.
But of course, I like to do 5 seasons, so we have to wait 1 more year before that theory could be doable.
True.
As they're comparing the running back the Raiders took to Emmitt Smith. Quite a high comparison to compare him to Emmitt. Jeez.
Do not compare it. Do not compare it. Trust me. Because the last time someone compared our QB to the other QB, all the sudden we tanked.
As we still wait for the Jets pick, and I got all the NFC East done. Now for NFC North.
Oh my god, this is excited! Oh my god, I got on you guys!
What? What'd you say?
Someone's going to showing his home school. Overreact. Guy, he got picked. Calm down. We know. He didn't win the Super Bowl. Jeez, now that sounds like an asshole.
As we still wait for the Jets pick. And then after that is the Panthers, Saints, and Bears still.
But yeah, I can't wait to see the draft in the Steel City of...
Wait, it's going to be in Pittsburgh next year?
Pittsburgh.
They did that a few years ago,
God.
remember?
But yeah, Pittsburgh... No, going back to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they did it a few years ago.
I'm curious when 2027. Oh no! So 2027 is gonna be interesting. They didn't announce it yet, but it's either Washington or Denver are gonna host the 2027 draft location.
You said 2027?
Yeah, it's either Denver or Washington D.C.
That's like
those are good locations.
That's
Red Rocks. If Denver's gonna host it, put it in Red Rocks. That's a perfect place to sit.
DC's like 4 hours away. Places around me.
Away.
Could you please hire me already so I can save up money to maybe go there in 2027? That would be very fun to go to a draft.
Hey. No, well,
although Baltimore would be easy for me. Baltimore's 3 hours.
Anyway, 2027, one of us is gonna be absent.
Please, DC. then maybe I can have a chance to finally attend my first draft.
Oh, wait, here's something even funnier. You kept going up against my Denver City. So, one of us is probably gonna see the first draft person.
And then if you get, you won't be here. But if I get, there'll be no stream. Ah!
Oh my god, it's a lose-lose situation. Imagine a third party comes in and wins
it's a lose-lose for you. One of them's a win still for me because I would still stream. No, it would be a win-win for me anyway. I'll still either stream it or I can actually be there. You'll be the one who's screwed out. And now they finally.
I'm screwed.
And now they finally announced the pick. As we still wait for them to actually say who it is.
Such thing, just don't get exaggerated. We know what's gonna happen, Jets.
With the 7th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Armand Membu, Missouri, tackle.
So the Jets take an offensive tackle. All right. Because their offense did need a lot of work. All right. So now that's out of the way. Now the Panthers are on the clock. And oh boy, they have less than 3 minutes left. So yeah, the Jets, I think they're going to probably be about the same as last year, but not really play much better. I don't see much improvement right now. Now the Panthers, of course, what an interesting year they had. They start off horrible.
Panthers to pick us in already.
Remember how terrible the Panthers were at the beginning of the year last year? Especially Bryce Young was so horrendously bad. Now, when the rest of the year came around, the team started to play a little bit better, and Bryce Young started to play a little bit better. But still not really a good season overall. As we take a look at stats, the Panthers, 23rd in points, 29th in yards, 30th in passing yards, 18th in rushing yards. Defense, oh goodness God! They were the worst defense in points allowed, the worst defense in yards allowed, the worst defense in rushing yards allowed, and they were the 23rd in passing yards. Literally, the 3 of the 4 categories, they are the worst in. Oh my God! That might be like one of the worst defense I've seen in a long time.
Everything. Just wait on.
I think it's very obvious.
Focus on your defense, man.
Oh God, Bryce Young needs some work, but what is he gonna do with a defense that horrendous? Ugh. And the pick's now in for
Shove it up his ugly ass, probably. I don't know.
And the pick's now in for the Panthers. Oh my goodness!
Oh my God! They're doing it.
What?
I love this montage.
All right, now they're doing the. I finished the NFC North. Now we're doing the NFC South.
Hold on, I just want to stop you there because they're doing a Jets reaction live to disappointment. No, not impressed. I'm not impressed. Sorry, it's just funny.
Right. Still says the pick's in for the Panthers, but we're still waiting for them to actually say who it is. So then the Saints will be on the clock against the Bears. Alright, now for the last division. Hey, a monster truck in that clip. Let's go!
Yay! But I love the montage of disappointment on Jets fans. You know why? Because it's so true. I think the Jets is just the butt of the joke at this point.
Alright, 3 left.
I love the Jets butt fumble and butt fumble and butt fumble the draft picks every year. I think it's a tradition.
Alright, the last team. Alright, so there we go. Got that all finally done. Now to compare. Let's see, who the worst teams the last 5 years. As we still wait for the Panthers pick. So, over the last 5 years, the worst team in the league record-wise, funny enough, is the Panthers. 24-59. And then after that, second worst is the Jets. Third is the Jaguars. Fourth is the Giants. And fifth is the Bears. Not really much change over the last few years. I think it was almost the exact same teams I did this a few years ago, or every year. Then again, no surprise, these 5 teams, Panthers, Giants, Bears, the Jets, and the Jaguars have been like 5 of the worst teams in the league. No win seasons.
Finally, he's back.
No win seasons for the Panthers. No winning seasons for the Bears. Although they did have a non-losing season 2020. 1 win season for the Giants. 2 win seasons for the Jags, but so terrible. And no win season for the Jets. And now for the Panthers pick.
With the 8th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Teteroa McMillan, wide receiver.
Alright, so the Panthers took a receiver. Interested. But at the same time,
and he's from.
At the same time, though, Bryce Young really needs a lot of help because he is really on a hot seat still, despite playing a little bit better at the end of the year. So I can't really blame him for going to receiver, but they really need to fix that defense really badly. That is like one of the worst defense I've seen in a long time on the stats. But yeah, good on them. Now, how I think the Panthers will do next year, it's really going to probably depend on how Young does. Because the NFC South is just as weak as the AFC South, so not that far off from being a potential, well, I mean, they can maybe compete and get the division, and if so, that's in the playoffs. But that the NFC last year was so heavy that even a 10-win team couldn't even make it in, for crying out loud. So the only way they're going to probably get in is by a division win.
By the way, the Saints pick is in, and the Bears are now the Sucks.
All right, so the Saints picks now in.
The
now we take a look at the Saints.
On the clock.
Man, what a start! Remember the Saints had last year? I think after 2 weeks, I thought they were going to make the Super Bowl because they were just destroying everyone, and then they crapped the bed the rest of the way. My goodness. As stat-wise, they were just terrible last year. Their worst season.
It's like them just got over a hungover. It's like someone waking up hungover when it's too late. It's like, what? Where am I?
Their worst season since 2005. As offense, they're 24th in points, 21st in yards, 23rd in passing yards, and 14th in rushing yards. Defense, they were 19th in points allowed, 30th in yards allowed, 27th in passing yards allowed, and 31st in rushing yards allowed. So their defense is their rush defense is second worst behind only the Panthers, who we just talked about.
Posted in the group chat just now.
What?
He just posted something. Look at what he posted.
I'm not quite exactly sure what it means, though. So, but
I don't know what that means either, but it's kind of funny.
And
meaning Satan.
And now, of course, the Saints, they really need a quarterback too. Since Derek Carr has not been that good, he's not the future, and he got injured apparently, so who knows if he's going to play much in 2025 at the moment. But I doubt they'll take one. They'll probably just take whatever they can get. As probably just need all over the place, but definitely that defense. Ugh. So after the Saints, wait, and of course site's being stupid. Reload ESPN really quickly. Reload already! Alright, so after the Saints is the Bears. Stupid site. It's the Bears, 49ers, and then the Cowboys. So yeah. So you gotta say about that. The worst teams in the last 5 seasons are the Jets, Jaguars, Giants, Panthers. Wait, Jets? Wait, Jets, Jaguars, Giants. Oh yeah, Bears and Panthers. Gotta say about that. What do you gotta say about that? I'm being ignored, people. Ah! This shit sucks. This shit sucks. Like Flight would scream.
Funny joke.
So, nothing to say about the 5 worst teams in the league the last 5 years. Okay, then we'll take a look at the 5 best teams.
Best team.
Over the last 5 years.
Yeah. Chiefs. Let's start with the Chiefs so we can get them out of the way.
I'm looking up the list, so hold your horses, pal. So yeah, the best team record-wise is the Chiefs. And then second was the Bills.
See?
And then third is actually a tie between the Ravens and Packers. And then the final spot is a tie between the Buccaneers and the Eagles. I mean, let's see. Buccaneers made the playoffs every year the last 5 years, although they did have a losing year in 2022, remember. Packers made the playoffs every year but one, although they did have a losing season in 2022 as well.
We do have the easiest division as well.
Eagles, of course, made the Super Bowl twice. They had a losing season this stretch too, but they made the playoffs 4 years. Chiefs have made the playoffs every year. The Chiefs have the longest playoff streak going. They have the longest division streak going. They're on the verge of tying the Patriots' record of winning the AFC West consecutive years. They're like one away from tying it if they win it this year. And the Ravens, of course, made the playoffs every year the last 5 years except for one. They had only one losing season. And the Bills, the only other team that challenged the Chiefs in terms of wins, won the division every year the last 5 years. They've win season every year and such. So yeah, this is probably going to be top 5 the same for next few seasons.
I try not to laugh because that is so true.
As Saints picks in, as we're waiting on that. That was fun making that list as I do every year. Alright, here we go. Saints pick.
With the 9th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Kelvin Banks Jr., tackle, Texas.
So the Saints took an offensive lineman, or offensive tackle. Okay.
Oh, what do we want to call it?
Alright,
okay, watch. Chicago Wales. Well.
Alright, and the Bears are on the clock. Alright, so let's see. Saints, I don't really know much about right now. they're in a terrible NFC South, so they could be a contender, but I just don't really see much of them for the moment. At least the Panthers feel like they're on the upside. Alright, now the Bears, a team with the number 1 overall pick last year. Remember last year, they were at one point were 4-2? Remember last year they were start off 4-2 and looked like they were going to be potentially good? Then the miracle in Maryland happened, and then they went on to lose every game but their final game of the year. Terrible year. Caleb Williams still played pretty solid.
That was kind of funny.
But yeah, and the Bears picks in. So anyways, for the Bears last year points. They were 28th. They had the second. They had the worst rushing. They had the worst offense in yards allowed. The second worst passing offense, and they were 25th in rushing yards. Defense, they were 13th in points, 27th in point yards allowed, 16th in yards allowed, and 20th in rush yards allowed. Ugh, that defense is kind of spotty. But yeah, it looks like the offense needs some more work. Which, hey, Caleb Williams needs to have a lot of weapons if you want to be good. So we'll see what they do as their picks now in.
Time, but can we skip Chicago and move straight to San Francisco? What the hell happened to you?
Well, we'll get to that when the time comes up, as the 49ers are up next, and then it's the Cowboys, and then the Dolphins. Something's definitely going to have to give in the NFC North, though. You can't have, just like I said back in 2023, remember in 2023 you had the Ravens won the division 13-4. Then you had the Browns 11-6, the Steelers 10-7, the Bengals 9-8. Everyone had a winning record the first time ever it's happened in a division. I said something's going to have to give in that division. I thought it was going to be the Steelers that were going to collapse, but nope, it was the Browns randomly out of nowhere. Very surprising. But yeah, we can't have the Lions go 15-2, Vikings 14-3, Packers 11-6. Something's got to give in that division, and maybe the Bears will exploit it. And speaking of the Bears, looks like their picks now coming in. Also, I'm working on my Patriots Retro Bowl franchise right now. Yay!
Release marks a pivotal moment in the NFL calendar. It sets the stage for a thrilling season. Yeah, this is when we get to geek out over every single game and bye week, the primetime revenge and rematches, those late season divisional dates that end up deciding playoff spots, and who's playing at Lambeau in December? Ooh, we're going to have to find out. You'll find out soon, okay? How about these rookies, the players who are drafted here tonight? When and where do they make their NFL debuts? We're going to find that out as well. Let's not forget the expanding lineup of international games, as well as Christmas, Thanksgiving Day. There's so many captivating matchups. It's the best. Yes, because nothing says holiday cheer like watching your team destroy another. Without further ado, everybody.
One day till my birthday!
Calendar, set your alarms. The schedule will be dropped on.
It's an only birthday gift.
Okay, guys, so May 14th is going to be when the schedule's released. Let's see, that should be first. Yeah, but Wednesday. Alright, guys, you hear that? In 3 weeks will be the NFL schedule release, and I'll stream reacting that, of course. Cannot wait. At least we now have a date. May 14th. Can't wait for that.
Why can't it not be May 15th? I want it to be May 15th, so I get to choose. Oh, here we go.
So you can what?
So there you have it.
Oh, here comes the booze from Chicago. Oh, yeah. So good.
We will have the full Monday Night Football schedule for you as well. The schedule release will stream on ESPN+. You may be wondering why they're going so loudly here now, and that is because the Chicago Bears have just been announced as on the clock, and in fact their pick is already in. There is no rivalry in any American professional sport, and that includes all of them.
The two biggest rivals in sports.
Cat pal. Steelers, Ravens, biggest rivalry in the NFL. I don't want to hear it. No excuses.
Yeah.
Don't be like Barry McCocker, who thinks it's the worst rivalry in the league. Here come the Bears pick.
The NFL family lost a true legend, Bears Hall of Famer Steve McMichael. My heart is with the McMichael family during this incredibly difficult time. Misty, please know that you are in our thoughts and prayers.
Forts.
Mongo's remarkable contributions to the game and the community will never be forgotten. His legacy will continue to inspire generations to come. 50 years ago, with the 4th pick in the 1975 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears selected one of Steve McMichael's teammates and closest friends, Walter Payton, running back, Jackson State. Walter would go on to rush for nearly 17,000 yards and
I'm sure
100
Packers don't want to hear that.
over 13 seasons, all with the Chicago Bears. As you heard earlier, the NFL continues to honor Sweetness not only for his performance and excellence on the field, but also his commitment to give back to his
Right.
community.
Just finished doing my draft for my Patriots franchise.
NFL Man of the Year award. So with the 10th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft,
Here we go.
the Chicago Bears select Colston Loveland, tight end of Michigan.
So the Bears took the first tight end off the board. Interesting.
Yep.
Alright, so my thoughts on the Bears this coming season is going to depend on, one, the NFC North collapsing, because I don't think you're going to have the same thing this last year. Lions 15-2, Vikings 14-3, Bears Packers 11-6. I think the Vikings are going to collapse, and then the Bears will take over, and maybe a playoff team, potentially. If Caleb
Speaking of
Williams
a
cooks.
collapse, San Francisco.
Yep, next up is the 49ers. As, of course, the 49ers last year they were the Super... Last year, remember, the 49ers were the Super Bowl runner-up and thought they were going to contend for the Super Bowl again. Only just like in 2020, after they lost the Super Bowl that year, they collapsed to a losing record, first time since 2019. And everything just went wrong from again with all the injuries and all that. And Purdy stopped being good old Brock Purdy last season too. So we'll see how they do this year. Give my thoughts afterwards. But let's take a look at their stats. Probably just need to get depth.
Here we go.
Like, here's the weird thing about the 49ers. They went 6-11, but let's see. Stats-wise, offense, they were 13th in points, 4th in yards, 4th in passing yards, 12th in rushing yards. Defense, they were 29th in points allowed, but 8th in yards allowed, 5th in passing yards, and 18th in rushing yards. So this team actually is pretty solid and good. They just kept losing games all the time instead.
Yeah, so,
Except-
what happened?
Injuries and choking the Super Bowl hangover. Oh yeah, and of course McCaffrey not playing most of the year because of the Manning curse. Maybe they need to get a running back to potentially replace him. Because next year he'll be 30 years old, and you know what happens to running backs when they hit 30. And speaking of which, the pick's now in. The pick.
I love making fun of the 49ers. Oh, we didn't realize the pick is in. Dallas is on the clock.
Yep, so 49ers picks in. Cowboys are now on the clock. Alright, so after Cowboys, it's the Dolphins, Colts, and Falcons. As we wait for the 49ers pick, as the Bears took the first tight end, which, hey, could be a useful weapon for Caleb. These have a really big season next year for the Bears to really make a playoffs appearance. Or they can get lucky and the NFC can collapse last year, because, God, the NFC last year was intense. Lions 15-2, Eagles 14-3, then you had the Rams and Buccaneers 10-7, then you had the Vikings 14-3, the Commanders 12-5, the Packers 11-6, then you had the Seahawks were 10-7. So a lot of division this year was loaded in 2024. It was insane. Which is why I've said something's going to have to give next year. So what do you think the 49ers should do? You there?
I think it... Sorry, I was just checking my Illustrator wax. They need... You know what? Yeah, I think they need to focus on the defensive line, actually.
Oh yeah, that also reminded me too. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but we're not going to do a day 2 stream like we've done the last 2 years. I'm going to be too busy on Friday, unfortunately. It's just going to be the first round tonight, and that's it this year. Hopefully, maybe next year we can get back to it.
Yeah.
Of course, it's kind of difficult too, and a whole bunch of people can't show up, apparently. Literally 6 people on the call, and only 2 of us are here. Shake my head. But hey, my Patriots on my Retro Bowl franchise are 3-0 right now. Let's go!
Oh man, he's like, let's go as he gets cut off.
I still wait for the 49ers
I love
pick.
your mic cuts off. I was like, let's go!
Wait, my mic cut off?
No. in the Discord currently, but it's not cutting off a lot. So, that's good.
As of course, we still wait for them to announce the 49ers pick.
Well, my side is still in commercial, so.
God, the Browns are 3-0 in my franchise, yet they don't have a 1-star defense, 2.5-star offense. How's that possible? They're supposed to be shitty. And I almost lost to them, too. That's pretty embarrassing. I'm a 5-star team. But hey, 4-0, let's go.
Patriots on a draft one. Oh yeah, they did. Hi.
You're literally describing ESPN Bet, which exists.
It's a total game changer.
Man,
Oh,
May 14th,
that's good.
May 14th can't come fast enough for me to react to the schedule release for like the 10th season.
You know what's funny? We're 1 day off from my birthday on that day, so.
Oh, Tanjobi then.
So I will be 21 still, but the date after the schedule release, I will be 22.
And did my Japanese offend you? Also, I lost my first game. Oh my God, this AFC East in my franchise so far. All right, we're still waiting on the 49ers pick.
If you would just get high, hey, if Washington wins, it's good job. But if Washington gets the draft in 2027, oh,
I can only hope, and then hope I'll get myself my job by then. Save up money to go down there for 2 days. Hey, here comes the 49ers pick.
For a special message from United States service members stationed at Yokota Air Base in Japan.
Hello from United States Forces Japan. I'm Sergeant Mitchell Johnson. I'm here with service members from the United States Army, Marine Corps, and Navy. We are proud to announce that this year we are celebrating our 250th anniversary. We are grateful for the opportunity to partner with the NFL Salute to Service and the USO in introducing the San Francisco 49ers 2025 draft pick.
With the San Francisco 49ers draft pick, back to you in Green Bay.
Here comes the pick.
Thank you to our men and women who serve in the United States military for your sacrifices to defend our country's freedom. With the 11th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Michael Williams, defensive end, Georgia.
So the 49ers took a defensive end. Alright. Probably get depth and all that. So my prediction for the 49ers, it's going to depend on how they play. They could be how they were, or they can improve and be a Super Bowl contender again. Hey, just like in 2021, I didn't know how they were going to react after they went 6-10. And look at that. They went 10-7 and they end up making like one drive short of making it back to the Super Bowl. Also, oh boy, Cowboys, just barely a minute left before their pick's in. They better hurry up. Oh, boy.
59 seconds. So I think the pick is in already. Or something crazy is about to happen. I think something crazy is about to happen.
Imagine having Jerry Jones as your general manager.
Nope, the pick is in. Dolphins are now on the clock.
You do know what happens if a team didn't make their pick in time, right?
Yeah, to get Skip.
Yep. Well, they can make their pick, but the team afterwards makes their pick first. Which, hey, happened
Yeah.
to the Vikings in 2003 where they missed 2 straight picks because they couldn't make a decision. Hey, just like
That was just funny.
Hey, just like the Ravens did that in 2011 when they couldn't make a trade in time. Imagine being that incompetent. All right, so 49ers, of course, took a defensive end. Now we wait on the Cowboys. Oh, yeah, Cowboys. Now let's take a look at their stats. I thought they were going to be potential Super Bowl contender, although I wasn't fully as trusting because Dake Prescott did not play so good. Well, no, I didn't trust Dake Prescott. I mean, say, then he did shit this bed this year, and then, of course, he got injured, and then the Cowboys completely fell apart. Oh, my God, their stats. 21st in points, 17th in yards, 11th in passing yards are good in them, but 27th in rushing yards. Then their defense, oh, my God. 31st in points allowed, 28th in yards allowed, 17th in passing yards allowed, and 29th in rushing yards. Oh my God, that defense is so horrendously bad. Oh boy. That defense really needs to be improved. Oh God. Almost sound like I heard a villager from Minecraft. Oh, that Cowboys defense is horrendously evilly bad.
That was fast.
All right, here come the Cowboys pick. Here we go. Nah, I lost another game.
With the 12th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft,
Man, I think
the
this.
Dallas Cowboys
Man.
select Tyler Booker.
I think that song was trying to say something to us.
And then the Cowboys took an offensive guard. All right. I really don't know what to say about the Cowboys. I really don't know what my predictions are for them. They're like all
The
over
Cowboys
the
are
place.
the Cowboys. There we go.
All right. So now up is the Dolphins.
Yeah, at least they don't have to panic. Because that was pretty quick.
All right. So the Dolphins, of course. What a wasted season was last year. They went 8-9 with their offense being so horrendous when Tua got injured. And it sucks for them because they had a legit, like, elite defense that they didn't have the last few years, and it was wasted.
Yeah.
And their first losing season since 2019. Like, let's take a look at these stats. Their offense, they were 22nd in points, 18th in yards, 15th in passing yards, and 21st in rushing yards. But defense, they were 10th in points allowed, 4th in yards allowed, 9th in passing yards allowed, and 9th in rushing yards allowed. They were like top 10 in every category, and they had the 4th best defense in yards allowed. A very good near elite defense wasted because of Tua getting injured. Oh my goodness.
I
Man,
like Tyler Booker's profile. It's just him with an afro.
Can you-
I like that.
can you imagine
Mr. Afro.
if the Dolphins offense from last year 2023 played this year? Oh boy, they would probably have been
Oh my
elite.
God.
But wasted opportunity. All right,
Wow,
so
the Dolphins need an offensive line, a D line,
they'll probably need something to make sure Tua doesn't get injured again.
cornerback, and a tight end. So wow, I think they need to work on the defense first. I'm saying just build your defense first, then line. Wait.
As we're waiting.
Holy.
So Alabama, by the way, now 17 consecutive years that they have had a player selected in round one. 16 had already been the longest streak for any school in draft history. So our colleague Nick Saban, very proud, no doubt about that.
As we wait on the Dolphins pick.
Go to break, go to break. We have a good part for a break.
Which leaves the Dolphins on the clock here at number 13. And the Dolphins, an interesting team to consider here as they fight in that AFC East. We should have
Hard fought game. I need that win. Thank you.
the joy, the unbridled joy that he
As the Dolphins have 5 minutes and 10 seconds left.
to watch as you see the emotion of the young man. Certainly, we talked about plenty on Get Up.
Shutting out the Bengals. Let's go. Beating the Cowboys in the snow, that was great. Four and a half minutes for the Dolphins.
Imagine the Dolphins changed their colors to orange and light blue. Hey, look! Face!
I mean, they've used orange jerseys before, remember?
Dolphins pick is in.
Well, nothing yet for me. I think I just crushed the Steelers, and I think they were 0-11. Oh, man. I need to look that up. Yep, now the pick says it's in, so now the Colts should be on the clock. And then it's the Falcons. I'm going to look at the stands really quickly. Oh, they're 3-10. All right. Ah, I lost to the Rams. That sucks. All right, we're still waiting for the Dolphins pick. All right. All right. Still there? Well, thank you for no reply. Alright, well, I need to burp for a moment, people, as we still wait for a Dolphins pick to come in during commercial, so I'll be back in a moment. Alright, I'm back, and sounds like the Dolphins made their pick when I was gone. I think it said a defensive tackle while I was coming into the room. Did you hear?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's showing you on the screen, so it's Kenneth Grant.
Well, you didn't show anything, but the Colts, the Dolphins took a defensive tackle. Okay.
Yeah.
So, my prediction for the Dolphins, I mean, if they keep this elite defense they had last year and Tua gets back to his 2023 form and that offense cooks, the Dolphins could maybe be a Super Bowl contender. I'm not joking when I'm saying this, but I don't trust that defense being elite like last year. That might have been like a fluke unless they prove me wrong. And I'm not fully sure if I can trust Tua staying healthy.
The Colts picked in, and the Falcons are now on the clock.
All right, so that's my prediction for the Dolphins as we wait for the Colts pick. So now the Colts. Man, another year where they feel like they overachieved in terms of wins as Richardson did not really play good. Hopefully he'll do better this year because this is like a do-or-die season for him. But they are in the AFC South.
Oh, yeah.
They're in the AFC South, so anything could go when you're in the South divisions. They are only one game off, really, from being in as a wild card almost. So anything could go, perhaps. Not fully out of it completely. So anyways, as we take a look at their points, their stats, they were 17th in offense in points, 13th in yards, 25th in rush yards, and 25th in passing yards and 8th in rush yards. So they can run the ball, but passing, not so much. Defense, just like the last 2 years, has not been really good. 24th in points, 29th in yards allowed, 26th in passing yards allowed, and 24th in rushing yards allowed. So you could either work on that defense or maybe help give some weapons, maybe make Richardson better because he needs to play good like he was doing the first few games of 2023. But we'll see how they do. And after the Colts, it's going to be the Falcons, Cardinals, and then Bengals. As we're almost getting to the teams that had winning records coming up soon. As we wait for the pick to come in. Oh yeah, you still there? Thank you for no answer. And now the pick's in. Here we go.
The Indianapolis Colts select Tyler Warren, tight end, Penn State.
And the Colts took a tight end.
They got the tight end.
All right, now we wait to see if that's the guy Aaron wanted so badly. Just like remember when they drafted Richardson 2 years ago, he went, yes! Just wait for the reaction.
Oh, okay, hold on, let's see.
So, took a tight end. Pretty good for them, I guess. That is an extra weapon for Richardson, especially if it's O-line help too. Since tight ends can be O-linemen and receivers at the same time.
He's still building like he's on crack right now.
All right. So, good for the Colts, and my prediction, I mean, they still are a potential playoff team because they are in the AFC South, but they need to either have their defense massively improve or Richardson needs to massively improve. But they're like on the mix in the table division, so anything can go. And now the Falcons are on the clock as we go take a look at their stats. Now, of course, remember when they did that massive when they did that massive deal to bring in Kirk Cousins, we thought maybe they could contend for the division if he plays good. Then, of course, they drafted Penix. And Cousins played terrible, of course. And Penix took over the last 3 games, and he actually played good. Although they lost in the games, he played really good.
Yeah.
But they did improve after going 7-10 the last 3 years. So we'll see how they do. Now, stat-wise, the Falcons were offense 13th in points, 6th in yards, 5th in passing yards, so they were really good passing the ball, and 10th in rushing yards. Defense, they were 23rd in points, 23rd in yards allowed, 22nd in passing yards allowed, and 15th in rush yards allowed. So again, the defense is very underwhelming. Defense was actually pretty good. I mean, pretty solid. Just couldn't get the job done all the way. Which is wastes opportunity for them, because remember, they swept the Buccaneers last year, so if they won just 2 games, they would have been the playoffs instead of the Bucs. That's how close it was for them.
Yeah. So this could be their chance, actually.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of which, too, remember I said I was doing my Retro Bowl Patriots franchise off screen? Well, I went 12-5, blew my chance to win the division, and I freaking went 1 in the playoffs. Lovely. Again. Can't get
I think you blew the game. You did a good job on that.
Yeah. All right, let's see Aaron's reaction. Apparently,
Yeah, baby!
well, he's a happy man.
For now. You never know. You don't know what's gonna happen.
5 minutes for the Falcons. They better hurry up.
Yep.
And that's the
You never know.
Cardinals.
Something dumb could happen.
I'm just so sad going freaking 12-5. All I had to do was beat the Jets in the final week of the year, and I would have gotten number 1 seed. But no, we lost, and then I got beaten by the Ravens in the wild card. Ugh.
Yeah, he's a keeper. Is that dog food in the fridge? It's not dog food. It's fresh pet. Real meat, real
I need to get back to all my other man franchises too. Looks like about just 8 more seasons left of my Patriots franchise to be done too. It's now to update all my new stats now. Ugh. As the Falcons have less than 4 minutes and nothing yet. Okay, as we still wait. Have you been enjoying the draft so far, people? Because I sure am, as always. Ah, the Dolphins won the Super Bowl in my Patriots franchise. Ah, that shit sucks.
I just got here.
Who just joined? Oh, Angel, you took a very long time. Shake my head.
Yeah, I was say how long you notice he's in here.
Well, now the Falcons have 3 minutes left before they need to hurry up.
Oh, he's lagging bad.
Okay. Cass, can you speak again? I didn't hear it on my side.
I think Tim's dying.
What do you mean I'm dying?
There you go. I can hear you now.
I've been talking the entire time.
Your mic keeps cutting out.
Then tell Gavin to get me a new computer then. How about that one? And 2.5 minutes for the Falcons. They better hurry up.
Slide us
Did I
up.
install the mod correctly? Hold on.
I was back to work on the Retro Bowl stuff. And now 2 minutes for the Falcons.
Atlanta.
What? Now you're breaking up, Hal. Minute and a half.
Welcome back to Green Bay. The Atlanta Falcons on the clock at the 15th pick. Now let's look at your best available players, brought to you by Courtyard by Marriott. Shador Sanders, and this is looking like Aaron Rodgers. Could be like Boomer Esiason back in 1984, slipped in the second round. Think about Brett Favre as well. Geno Smith. This has happened before. And guess what? All his quarterbacks turned out to be pretty doggone good. So for Shador Sanders, the key right now is 1-1 Pittsburgh.
All right, the Falcons are now 1 minute. They better hurry up. If they don't, then the Cardinals will make their pick next instead.
Uh-huh. Okay, the pick is in for the Falcons. So Arizona is now on the clock.
Yep, finally it picks in.
Yeah, there's facial migraines and all the box and everything I was doing then. Who was the surprise? You see Geno Smith all the way into the second round. Jimmy Clausen's bust, second round, right? Brady Quinn, two Notre Dame quarterbacks. The
Hey, Aaron Rodgers, I think it's time for you to call it quits, bud, because you're playing game for 20 years now.
But he keeps shooting himself in the foot by not like going with the Steelers and all the others. And as we're still waiting. Oh boy, I wonder. Still
Oh yeah! I'm in the strip club, baby!
Still waiting for the Falcons pick. And then it's the Cardinals.
Which will this season be hosting the 69th consecutive season of Packers football, making it the longest continuously used stadium in the National Football League. So a special place to hold this extraordinary event. So the Atlanta Falcons, again, a team that has struggled on defense, struggled for pass rush. One of the few teams that has used all of its allotted time so far to give us all an opportunity to catch our...
Oh my goodness, still waiting.
There we go.
Their selection here. It will be Atlanta, then the Arizona Cardinals on the clock after that, then Cincinnati, Seattle, Tampa Bay, and Denver rounding out the top 20. Here's the commissioner with the Falcons selection.
Here we go.
With the 15th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Jalen Walker, defensive end, Georgia.
And the Falcons took... Well, Goodell said defensive end, but it says linebacker on the bug. But anyway, defensive player.
Oh my God.
Let's say the Falcons do need defensive help. And my prediction for the Falcons, it's going to depend on how Penix plays. About the same as they are right now, or maybe a playoff team. Kind of up in the air. All right, now up is the Cardinals. All right, of course, the Cardinals had a nice bounce back year last year, going 8-9 after going 4-14 the last 2 years. Just still fell short of making the playoffs, so going the right way. We'll see if they can keep that momentum up. Anyways, Cardinals last year were 12th in points, 11th in yards, 18th in passing yards, and 7th in rushing yards. Defense, they're 15th points allowed, 21st yards allowed, 14th passing yards, and 20th in rushing yards. So just like an average, okay team. Nothing else really to say is they got 6.5 minutes to go. And that's the Bengals. So we'll see what's coming up. Hey, as we just sit back and wait, as I do draft for my Patriots franchise, and nothing like drafting a potential 5-star quarterback.
I'm shocked no one else picked the other QB up for grabs.
Shador Sanders, you're talking about?
Yeah.
I remember when he like the
number
projected to be like the number 2 overall pick or whatever, but then he like fell off a cliff afterwards.
Just make sure, are we all watching the stream from the NFL channel?
I'm doing an ESPN.
Oh, okay. I'm watching the NFL stream. It says NFL Draft Center, live coverage of every round, one pick. I don't know if it matters or not.
As the Cardinals now have 5 minutes. Of course, still waiting.
We use money as a tool to help all the people we hold in our hearts.
The Cardinals are having a long discussion of who to draft.
Or as my Yumi would probably say, because they're mad. Nothing like shutting out the Lions start of the year in my Patriot franchise. As 4:15 left for the Cardinals. Up,
Picks is in for the Cards.
Yep, now the Bengals are on the clock. And you know what's funny? We haven't had one trade since that big one at the beginning of the draft. That's insane.
Oh, yeah.
So much for a busy night. We've only had one trade. It was at the very start. Alright, just waiting for the pick to be announced. After the Cardinals, it's the Bengals, Seahawks, and then we get to the playoff team, starting off with the Bucks. As we just got 14 picks left. Actually, no, half the picks still to go after Cardinals.
No trades yet, so nothing mentioned with the Cardinals.
Getting destroyed by the undefeated Broncos sucks. You destroyed me.
Good.
I don't like losing 24-9 at home. My first loss of the season. All right, still waiting for the Cardinals pick. Here we go.
With the 16th pick in the 2025
Okay.
NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Walter Nolan, defensive tackle, Mississippi.
All right, the Cardinals take a defensive tackle. Okay.
Tackle.
All right, my prediction for the Cardinals, I'm not sure. Probably about the same right now. Don't have really much to say until I see how they play next year. All right, now up is the Bungles. As I thought they were going to be back into Super Bowl contention last year, and then they crapped the bed last year. Although they went 9-8 once again, just falling short of the playoffs, wasting one hell of a season from Burrow. Oh my God, that defense was like one of the worst in the league too. They crapped the bed so hard. I think it's very obvious what they need to work on.
What a game between the Broncos and the Bengals. Yeah, defense. Like, that was a good game between the Bengals and Broncos.
Yep.
It was a fight to the end.
Like, listen to this. So, offense, they were 6th in points, 9th in yards. They had the number 1 passing offense in the league, but they were 30th in rushing offense. So, we know they were very lopsided towards passing. And in defense, they were 25th in yards allowed, 25th in points allowed, 25th in yards allowed, 21st in passing yards allowed, and 19th in rushing yards allowed. So, they could work on that defense, or maybe they could do something about that running game that's also horrendous. You can't just rely on all passing people, you know. Alright, and the Bengals have 6 minutes left. And I think I need to burp again. So, be back in a moment.
Anyway, happy
Alright, now I'm back as I unmute everyone.
Okay, let me update
And
you. The Bengals
picks in, I already heard.
picks in, and the Seahawks are on the clock now.
Yeah, as we wait on that. So either get a running back or just fix that defense. Either way.
Yep.
As we just wait on the pick to be announced.
Brilliant recovery with the Lowe's app. He always delivers. And so does the Lowe's app. In store, online, our Lowe's team has you covered.
Death is coming for us because we were never supposed to exist. If you can see how all of this fits together, we might have a chance.
Destination Bloodlines, May 16th, rated R. Turn the off season on again with the NFL app. Your home for all things NFL. Get the news, the highlights, and more access with a subscription to NFL Plus.
Still waiting.
The moves, the plays, all in one place, all year long. Welcome home. The Copa del Rey final and El Clasico on ESPN Plus. Copa del Rey final off the ground. A throne to claim. Brilliant effort, exciting game. Legacies to defend. History to be made.
Welcome back to the 2025 NFL Draft. Presented by Courtyard by Marriott. The 2025 Draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin, where we are now on pick 17. The Cincinnati Bengals, a team that lost Sam Hubbard, a defensive end, to retirement all season. They're still talking to Trey Hendrickson about a new contract, but the two sides still have not gotten close to a deal. So in the interim, the Bengals are expected to look at the spot for more pass rush help.
Hi, Shefty, thank you. And that's
Okay, let's see.
They have the three big players to deal with during this offseason, and thus far, Hendrickson is the one they have not. They've taken care of the two
Alright.
receivers. So they
Here comes Goodell.
the defense. Major questions. Here's the commissioner to announce the 17th pick as we begin the second half of the fourth round of this draft. The commissioner enjoying the musical performance. And here's the selection.
With the 17th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Shamar Stewart, defensive end, Texas A&M.
Alright, so they took a defensive end. Again, that defense needed a lot of work. So good on them.
Yeah.
Well, I think the Bengals, it's going to depend on how their defense plays. They could be a playoff team. And if their defense isn't so horrendously, terribly bad last year, they could be back to being a Super Bowl contender. But, of course, good luck hoping Burrow plays as well as he did last year, because that was like an elite season he did last year. You can't always get that all the time. Alright, so now, next up is the Seahawks. Of course,
Seahawks.
yep, last year, I felt like they overachieved. I didn't think they were that good, but they went 10-7, just fell short of making the playoffs. But oh man, even though they got Sam Darnold, that's going to depend on how he plays, because who knows if he's going to play great like he did last year. The rest of the team, just feels like they just threw out everyone. They traded away DK Metcalf too. Like, there's a lot of problems they got to deal with coming up. So, Seahawks, 18th in points, 14th in yards, 8th in passing yards, and 20th in rushing yards. Meanwhile, defense, 11th. Ooh, they have 11th best defense in points, 14th in yards allowed, 11th in passing yards, and 16th in rush yards. So their defense was actually kind of solid after several years. Their offense took a bit of a step back, though. So, Seahawks with 4.5 minutes left. Probably should focus maybe more on the offense, especially getting a new receiver since they let Metcalf go. But we gotta wait to see what they're gonna do. Oh, another thing too is running back too. They have no rushing yards really. They had a terrible rushing offense last year. So run back can do as well. Yep, like Hillbilly said in the chat, the Seahawks trade away another receiver to the Titans. So yeah, they really do need a receiver. And after that, it's the Buccaneers and then the Broncos. Seahawks are the last team, too, that didn't make the playoffs last year. Imagine winning 10 games and not even making the playoffs. Oof. It's like the 2020 Dolphins all over again. Three minutes left for the Seahawks.
Pick it soon for the Seahawks. Buccaneers are on the clock.
Yep, there we go.
Molly, thank you very much. Shamar Stewart. Again, the magnificent physical talent. The production that hasn't always lined up to it, but a player we did expect to hear his name early tonight. Mike Green still on the board. A lot of pass rushers in this draft. It was interesting to see in which order they would fall, and now they are starting to do just that. The Seattle Seahawks are on the clock, followed by Tampa and Denver, and we'll be back in 15 seconds after this word from the Titans.
With Private, your personal finances aren't just personal. We use money as a tool to help all the people we hold. Because the most important thing isn't what you're planning for, it's who. Private, where money means more.
Still waiting for the Seahawks pick.
Let's talk about Seattle then.
I already did earlier, remember?
I think, in my opinion, this is the rebuild year for them. Like, they lost a lot of good people on that lineup, I think this is a rebuild year.
I'm not sure if I trust Darnold, so I don't think the Seahawks are going to be that good this year unless he really shows up like he did this last year. That's going to be all on him.
Here we go.
All right, here we go for Seahawks.
With the 18th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft,
Okay.
Seahawks select
So, enough line and tackle.
An offensive guard. Interesting.
Yeah. So the Buccaneers are now still on the clock.
But like I said, I don't think the Seahawks are going to do good this year unless Darnold shows up like he did last year.
Yeah, so I think you agree with me. You saying
I don't think
Seattle's still in a rebuild?
it's kind of funny calling them in a rebuild when they had 3 straight winning seasons.
Yeah, but
Right. Bucks on the clock with 7 minutes left. All right. Buccaneers. Like, very
Buccaneers
impressive
on
year.
the clock.
Even though they were 10-7, they were very impressive last year, especially offensively, but they just fell short to the Commanders in the wild card round. So let's see, stat-wise, like one of the league's elite offenses, you see they're 4th in yards, fourth in points, 3rd in yards, 3rd in pass yards, and 4th in rushing yards. So elite offense across the board. Defense, however, 16th in points allowed, 18th in rushing yards allowed, 29th in pass yards allowed, and 4th in rushing yards allowed. So they actually had a really good run defense, but everything else kind of sucked. So Buccaneers could either work on that offense, or did they bring back Godwin? They might. I honestly think they probably should consider maybe looking at receivers at some point too, because I don't know if they brought Godwin back, but he's been there for a while. Evans is now going to be like 32 years old, so he's getting up there in age, so they should start drafting for the future when it comes to running back, receivers.
yeah.
I need to look that up. If Godwin's still there. Like Kushworth said, he was like on a. This was like he was a free agent unless they re-signed him. Yep, still says he's on the books on Wikipedia. Guy's been on there since 2017. Alright, we still wait. 5.5 minutes. Oh wow, Godwin had a 3-year, $66 million extension.
Dang.
Even though he only had not even 600 yards and 5 touchdowns last year, but he only played 7 games. And I do think they should consider maybe looking into getting a receiver in the future to replace either one of them.
Into the offense.
For the Bucs. They should think about getting a receiver.
So defense, yeah.
But other than that, defense definitely needs
Pickett's
work.
in for the bon. Yeah. Pick is in. By the way, Pick is in for the not for the Broncos. For the Buccaneers. But the Broncos is now on the clock.
And after that's going to be the Steelers.
Yep. Oh.
This is a meal. Melty, cheesy, flaky, toasty. Lunch just got croissant-tastic. Try the new croissant toast sandwiches. It just feels good at Panera.
Chime exists to help everyday Americans make it. When you build your
As well, it still says Buccaneers have 5 minutes left.
when your girl math starts mathing. Oh yeah.
I think the clock stopped.
Oh my god,
The
it
clock
is.
has stopped. Oh no! They got a bug in the bug.
Graduates, today you enter the real
Oh no! What am I gonna do? Wait, why is it at 8 minutes now?
going to a 9-to-5 job. Doing your
Okay.
or taking off to do
They went back to 8.5 minutes now. My goodness.
This guy knows what I'm talking about.
There we go. Now it says picks in.
Saving money by bundling your home and auto with Progressive is easy. Oh, yeah. Deciding what's for dinner every night.
Someone's getting fired tonight.
Alright, well, we wait for the picks. Back to my Patriots franchise.
With the first selection in the 2005 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Alex Smith.
Forget franchise. Aaron Rodgers will be solid. How far he drops is going to be the storyline of the day.
Miami Dolphins select Ronnie Brown, Carnell Williams, Antrell Roll.
And a week and a half ago, looked like Aaron was going to be the guy. I like Aaron Rodgers a lot, and somebody's going to get themselves a heck of a steal.
It's gonna happen again.
In the 2005 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Aaron Rodgers.
We're back in Green Bay. Time now for a draft.
Wow.
Brought to you by Ego. So what were the possibilities that we would have Shador Sanders still on the board available as we arrive at the 19th pick, which is where we are now? Well, as you can see, it was about 50-50. He would be there at 13. The percentages continue to drop, and we were a few picks away from the...
And of course, I get destroyed by the Jets. Lovely.
What can you tell us? Well, Brady, we're not going to see Shador picked at 19 or 20. The Buccaneers are
Don't.
still
F-
at 19.
you never know with Denver. They can shock the world. So.
To the Pittsburgh Steelers at 21. That is the pick that a lot of people have wondered whether the team would take it. He's got good support within the organization. Mike Tomlin is a fan of Shador Sanders. Offensive coordinator Archie Smith is a fan of Shador Sanders. Once the Steelers help at defensive tackle,
Okay, Buccaneers pick it's in.
Yeah, we know that already. Imagine losing to an 0-7 Colts team. Shake my head.
Let's see.
Deion Sanders with his coach
And here we go for the Bucks pick.
With the 19th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tampa
What?
Bay Buccaneers select Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver.
And they took a wide receiver
That's
like I thought they
shocking.
should consider doing. All right. Oh,
Wow.
I'm.
That's the first surprise of the night.
Like I said, I think they should consider it, and they listened. All right. So the Bucks, I definitely think they're a playoff. I mean, gonna probably win the division, of course. They probably would be a Super Bowl contender if their defense was pretty good, but they have the offense, so we'll see how they do this year. They just need to start doing better. They need to stop being like 10-7 all that. They're supposed to be a lot better than that in terms of record. All right. So now that that's out of the way, now it's on to the Broncos, of course.
I said the Broncos. Oh God.
All right, of course, the Broncos last year, after a terrible start to the year, they turned it around, and they end up having their first win season since 2016, and got their first playoff appearance since 2015 before the Bills destroyed them. So we'll see how they do in this upcoming year, as offensively they were 10th in points, 19th in offensive yards, 20th in passing yards, and 16th in rushing yards. Defense, they were 3rd in points allowed, 7th in yards allowed, 19th in passing yards allowed, and 3rd in rushing yards allowed. So their defense was almost elite other than the passing defense. But defense still looks like it could use some work. So what do you think?
Some work. But I think we need more wide receivers because we can't pass it to the same guy over and over again. They're just gonna expect it. So I think wide receivers is a work, or we can get a new running back.
As they are, 16th in rushing yards, 20th in passing yards. Is that like, I think it's the 3rd receiver taken on the draft tonight? Let's see what ESPN says. No, it was only the 2nd. All right, Broncos have 3.5 minutes.
Yep. The Broncos will now have 3 minutes because 3 minutes. So.
All right, less than 3 minutes.
I had no idea if anyone would buy anything. It was so wild that I actually, from a dream, started a business.
There's nothing like that first Mercedes. Experience the feeling yourself.
As they have barely over 2 minutes.
2 minutes left. Yep.
Let's start paying attention to breast when it matters the most. Early detection for breast cancer is a game changer. I'm able to be here today. So let's get more women screened than ever before at YourAttentionPlease.com.
It's a rare thing when someone you've been with your soul finds a way to surprise you. It's like discovering each easy-to-use platform now comes with the power of Morgan Stanley.
Broncos almost have a minute left.
This stuff works. This stuff kills weeds down to the root without killing your lawn. This stuff works on dandelions, crabgrass, clover. This stuff works for up to 3 months. This stuff works guaranteed or your money back. This stuff works
Broncos have a minute left.
I lost to the Dolphins. This sucks. Alright, Broncos have 1 minute. They better hurry up. Or the Steelers will take their pick next.
Pick is in for the Broncos.
Well, still nothing yet. Still 40 seconds. There we go. Alright, picks in. Now
Yeah.
the Steelers are on the clock.
I think Matthew Golden is going to be the best pick for Denver, actually.
We're still waiting.
All of these picks look good for Denver, actually. Here we go. Oh, I don't see Roger.
As we wait for the Broncos, I gotta play the defending champion Dolphins. Let's go in the playoffs.
Okay, okay, he's here.
And I lost again. The wild card. Are you shitting me? Damn it.
Okay.
Well,
April is World Wish Month, and the NFL is proud to support the life-changing wishes that make a wish grant.
another one and done.
Yes. One of those wishes will be coming true right now. Sam is a 17-year-old Broncos fan who has bravely battled cancer. There you go, Sam. Raise that fist up, baby. His wish is to announce the first-round draft pick for his favorite team. Please join
There
me
we go.
in cheering on Sam as his wish comes true. Take it away, Sam.
Let's go, Broncos. All right. With the 20th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Jahdae Barron, DB, Texas.
So the Broncos took a corner. All right. So we gotta see about that,
Well,
Mister.
that's what we needed, actually, surprisingly.
All right.
Why does that guy look like Wee Man?
So the Broncos, how I think, playoff team. It would be kind of interesting to see how they, Chargers and Chiefs, compete with each other in the AFC West. Not sure, but definitely should be a playoff team still. All right, now up is the Steelers, of course. As what a collapse they had last year. Remember when they were 10-3 at one point, and they collapsed at 10-7, and the Ravens whooped their ass in the wild card round. So yeah, no. They don't even have. Do they even have a QB right now? Like, who do they have? Since Wilson's gone,
I think this is the time we're gonna see another QB
Justin
taken
Fields
off
gone.
board.
Let's look up Wikipedia. Since Rodgers still hasn't signed with them yet, and it sounds like maybe they're just gonna say fuck him since he keeps saying keep declining.
I say get that QB off the board before someone else has a chance to snatch him up.
They got their QB. Are you scared of Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson? Yeah, they really badly need a quarterback, of course. Maybe they'll finally take Shedeur Sanders since he's fallen this far. All right, so let's take a look at the Steelers stats as they got 6 minutes remaining.
Deion Sanders for the.
Also, how dare you leave an Angel earlier? Ah! All right, so still waiting for it to load up. All right, Steelers.
Let me pull on my sheet.
Steelers are 16th in points, 23rd in yards, 27th in passing yards, and 11th in rushing yards. And then defense are 8th in points, 12th in yards, 25 in passing yards allowed, and 6 in rushing yards. So their passing defense is kind of bad, but everything else is really good. And their offense, yeah, it's mid and sucks. But yeah, really, they need a quarterback badly. They badly need a quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, so if Deion Sanders, or whatever his name is, doesn't get picked here, I will be super shocked. So I think he's going to get picked here.
And the pick's in.
He's on 100. I think he's 100% getting picked here.
The belief around the league is that the Saints and the Giants both really like Jackson Dart. So, Shepty, there's an irony in all of this, Mel, because you keep making the comparisons to Aaron Rodgers and the way that he slid through the draft, and now perhaps Rodgers playing some role in Pittsburgh's decision as they make this pick here at 21. But we're waiting to see if this is the spot. Shador Sanders will finally hear his name called.
Steelers have no second-round pick. That went to Seattle for DK Metcalf. So they're sitting here with a pick. We talked about Derek Harmon. Derek Harmon, defensive back out of Oregon, could be mentored by Cam.
Right. So Steelers picks in, that's the Chargers.
But he's hearing 2 more years, maybe 3.
Right.
So you bring in maybe Derek Harmon. How do you feel about Shador at 21?
And you gotta wonder what they do about Rodgers. Like, he's pretty much blowing his chances to potentially be a Steelers starter.
Yeah.
I can't believe he's not even signed yet. Then again, it sounds like it's just being his fault. They keep fucking around.
Yeah. It's the Steelers to get this quarterback? Aaron Rodgers has to be considered retiring.
I doubt he'll retire yet. He probably will go somewhere.
Well, that's true.
All right, I'm told that the pick is in. The commissioner is making his way to the stage.
Second
Will this be
quarterback coming? Here we go.
Here we go. And you keep your mouth shut, mister.
Here comes Roger Goodell with the announcement.
Here we go. Will Steelers take a QB that they badly need?
21st pick in the 2025 NFL
Oh.
Draft. The Pittsburgh Steelers select Derek Harmon. Defensive tackle.
Wow, no QB. Wow, Steelers, they took a defensive tackle. Holy cow.
That is shocking. They
That
should have went for Sanders.
well,
Why
that
not go for Sanders though? You had him. You had him.
well, it shows how much he's fallen in their eyes. Yeah, I don't agree with the Steelers doing that unless they get a QB somewhere, because that is like a vital need. Oh my God, that I don't agree with. So the Steelers took a defensive tackle. Now the Steelers, my predictions. Well, their offense sucks, and they still have no QB, but knowing Mike Tomlin and the Steelers, they're going to find a way to stay above 500 and still make the playoffs somehow. As always.
Now time for the Chargers.
All right, now for the Chargers. They had the #1 defense last year. Sherbert had a very statistically good year, although he would play like a game manager and had not a lot of touchdowns, but had no interceptions until the playoffs happened, of course, when they got destroyed by the Texans. So, yeah, they had a defense that can win the Super Bowl, and they choked it, of course. I'm going to need Sherbert to throw like freaking 4,000 yards to get almost 40 touchdowns to really take them seriously. As last year, Chargers were 11th in points, 20th in yards, 19th in passing yards, and 17th in rush yards. Just like barely like tolerable offensive stats. Now this defense, however, #1 points allowed, 11th in yards allowed, 7th in passing yards, and 14th in rushing yards. So their Russian defense is a little iffy, but the rest of the defense was elite. So yeah, Chargers, not exactly sure what's necessarily the weakness that they really have. Maybe just go for depth. They already got their QB, of course. They already signed Najee Harris. Maybe go for an extra receiver, maybe 2, but it might be too early for the first round for that. Chargers can probably go either way. As they got 6 minutes.
But Sniper, what a shocker from.
I cannot believe the Steelers did not take a quarterback. They need one.
I thought we were going to pick a quarterback 100% there.
Anyways, after the Chargers, it's going to be the Packers and the Vikings, as we're almost into the divisional round teams.
Yeah.
In fact, I think the Packers and Vikings are the last teams.
So,
Yep. Chargers, Packers, and Vikings are the last wild card teams, and then we're going to be in the divisional round. As we're almost down to our final few picks, people.
Yep. Yep.
Chargers have 5.5 minutes remaining. They still haven't made their pick yet.
Order a 10-piece McNuggets meal with spicy leather flame sauce. And unlock epic add-ons in Minecraft. Only when you order on the McDonald's app.
Pick 22 still on the clock. Yes. Ooh.
Still waiting.
Yeah. I'm just shocked. Like, how do you explain that? Like, how can you explain that?
Steelers be like, hey, we go 500 no matter what. We make the playoffs like almost every year. We're fine. Yeah, that's what they did.
But you need. I'm just shocked it didn't go for him though. Like, it definitely need a QB.
I think it shows that Shedeur Sanders is really
Sure,
just
not that desperate, but
I think it just shows that Shedeur Sanders really has fallen off the mark if he was like number 2 overall pick, and now he's fallen this far. Obviously did not impress people.
yeah.
World-famous buttermilk pancakes, crispy hickory smoked bacon, and 2 eggs cooked to order your way. All for just $6. Part of the new $6 house based menu.
Verizon Small Business Days are back. Our experts? Closer than you think. Service dealers, advice, more.
Hey, hi.
April 21st to 27th.
Let's take a look.
Get started today.
Alright. As we wait, Chargers have 3.5 minutes left.
When you have the right team. McCaffrey looking lost. Looking for a loss. I'm looking for a loss. Could you pull me aisle 27? Find what you need faster with the Lowe's app.
Welcome back to Green Bay. For another look at your best available players, brought to you by Boneyard.
He dropped significantly. Like,
Break the NFL, but they were old school pocket passers, and where they slid, now the NFL didn't really regard them highly coming out of college. On the long list of names, quarterbacks went on to be outstanding in the National Football League. Will Jones, I think the injury affected him, pushed him down. Marion Hampton surprised Denver didn't take one center opted to go a different direction, and Denver took Shanae Barron, the quarterback, safety from Texas. All of a sudden, Hampton could drop a little bit. The running back's not a big need. Big need here.
Alright, still waiting.
still waiting for the Chargers.
For training camp, there's Matthew Golden. He would fit what the Chargers are looking for as well. So he catches the football and has great speed with that 14-9. The Chargers needs right now interior offensive line, wide receiver, tight end, and they could not stop the run. 27 is per carry average allowed legs.
They better hurry up.
However, this has become now the story of the night. Shedeur Sanders, according to our draft day predictor, there was a 96% chance that he would be selected in the first 21 picks entering this draft. 21 being the operative number with the Steelers.
Alright, just less than 2 minutes left.
Where we wait to see if any team chooses to trade up from the second round to make the aggressive.
Yeah, we always act like we're in the 6th round of the draft.
And they're really taking their time.
We're still where Lamar Jackson wasn't taken.
Ooh, a 5-star tight end, my Patriots draft. I'll sign him.
South Carolina tight end, and then they traded back into 32 to take Lamar Jackson. We're ready to pack it up at the end of day 1 and get ready for day 2, right? There's Lamar Jackson. That list of the pocket pass. Johnny Unitas, cut by the Steelers, passed over, right? To by one. Dan Marino passed over for Cal Davis and Ken O'Brien, right? Joe Montana went in the 3rd round. Kurt Warner, undrafted free agent.
Chargers barely have a minute left and still nothing.
Yep.
Matt Ryan, Jake Long went
They're taking their sweet, sweet, sweet time, apparently.
over Matt Ryan. Pocket guy, how'd that work out, right? Drew Brees, 2nd round. Chargers, then Miami didn't take him, goes to New Orleans, right? How'd that work? Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, Kirk Cousins, 4th round pick. They're all positional drop back pocket passers. I didn't mention the greatest of all time, Tom
Now they're down to 43 seconds and still no pick yet. Oh, boy.
30 seconds now.
Stop spoiling. 30 seconds now. Oh, my goodness. What are the Chargers doing? They need to hurry, or the Packers are going to pick next. 15 seconds! 10 seconds! Oh boy! 5 seconds! And now 0! Uh-oh! Oh, the pick's finally in! My goodness! They went down to the freaking
time!
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Chargers, you need to go faster! Packers almost took your spot,
Dude.
potentially! My God!
They could have...
Wow! Right down to the freaking wire! So the Chargers finally made their pick in time. So now the Packers should be on the clock.
Shocking.
Alright, so now we wait for them to announce.
Wow, that was a close one for the Chargers. They need to stop being reckless with those picks.
Alright. Here we go for Chargers pick.
With the 22nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Omarion Hampton, running back.
And the Chargers took a running back. Interesting. Alright. So a running back for the Chargers. All that waiting too for that. Alright, so my prediction for the Chargers, it's really going to come down to Herbert playing like how he did in 2020 and 2021. If he plays like that, and if they keep that elite defense, I think they could be an easy Super Bowl contender in the AFC. Otherwise, about a playoff team as they were this last year. But it's going to come down to, I need Justin Sherbert, to put up like 40 touchdowns before I'm impressed. Alright, so now with that out of the way, now we're on to the Packers. As, of course,
Let's
last
hope
year...
this time they don't... Let's hope they not like the Chargers, picking it at the last second.
So, of course, the Packers last year, I thought they were going to be a
on.
Super Bowl contender, and they kind of crapped the bed as Jordan Love did not play so good. Statistically, though, pretty much elite across the board, but they just didn't impress me as they went 11-6, made the playoffs, but they got spanked by the Eagles. So, let's see, they are 8th in offense, 8th in points, 5th in yards, 12th in pass yards, and 5th in rush yards. So, yeah, elite offense. Defense, they're 6th in points allowed, 5th in rushing yards allowed, 13th in passing yards allowed, and 7th in rushing yards allowed. So, yeah, pretty balanced elite offense and defense, but they only went 11-6. Also doesn't help that they went 1-5 in the NFC North. And if it wasn't for this first game against the Bears, they could have been 0-6. My goodness. I'm sure that's going to change this upcoming year because that NFC North is so loaded that something's got to give. You can't have it, especially I'm looking at you, Vikings. I don't think you're going to go 14-3 again. So, what do you think the Packers should do?
I think they need to do something to improve the defense, actually.
Either way, both
Like,
parts are pretty good.
Yeah. So, if the defense improves, the less scoring opportunities the others will have. So,
5.5 minutes for the Packers. Yeah, Love needs to play better this upcoming year. He did not play as good in 2024 compared to that insane 2023 season he had. That was insane.
it would be really embarrassing if Green Bay doesn't get the pick in time, and it's still hometown draft.
Only got 5 minutes remaining.
But there's plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Alright, as we're still waiting.
Dun, dun, dun.
Let's see. Shador Sanders. Vikings, Packers, they don't need a QB. Vikings, they got McCarthy, although he didn't play last year, but they should really give him a chance, so they shouldn't really take a QB. Texans, they got Stroud, they don't need a QB. Lions, Stafford, who knows if he's going to play much longer, so maybe they should consider. Ravens, Lamar, they don't need anyone. The Lions have Goff, they don't need anyone. And actually, all the teams up ahead, the only teams that really need a QB are the Rams. Maybe that's the only other option for Shador. Unless the Vikings want to get...
Does
back first round.
Got to be a fucking buzzkill.
Then again, we'll get to them in a little bit once the Packers are done, as they got 3.5 minutes remaining. They're taking a very long time.
Yeah.
We're still waiting. 3 minutes left.
Yeah.
All right, 2.5 minutes. Packers need to hurry up. Now 2 minutes.
Hey.
God, they have a minute and a half remaining. They need to hurry.
For me, they're about to hit a minute 10. Okay, the pick is in.
They got a minute left.
Minnesota's on the clock now.
So the Packers picks in as Vikings are on the clock.
Fascinating first round. Again, we've had only one quarterback come off the board. We've had only one trade. There have never been fewer than 3 first-round trades. And the last time that we had that few was back in 1971. So the Packers will make their pick here at 23. Their division rivals, the Minnesota Vikings, will be up next at 24, followed by Houston, and then the Rams. So we continue to wait for spots where a quarterback may go, and now we're looking here at the Green Bay Packers set to make their pick. So the pick is in. I told the commissioner he'll be making his way to the stage shortly. A Packer team that had some good moments last year, made a playoff run, but played in such a tough, competitive division. The Vikings obviously had that great year with the Detroit Lions, despite all their defensive injuries, finishing as the #1 seed in the NFC, falling short in that playoff run as well. So the Packer fans here dancing and singing and waiting to hear where they go. Told the commissioner is finally now going to make his way out. And so the pick is ready. And here comes the commissioner with a very special guest who will be very...
Here come the Packers pick.
Here we go.
Okay, Green Bay, it's your time. To make this historic pick, please give it up for first-team All-Pro, Pro Bowler, 2-time Super Bowl champion, and Packers President and CEO, Mark Murphy.
Thank you, Roger. How about this atmosphere? Isn't it unbelievable? Roger, thank you and the NFL for bringing the draft here to Green Bay for the best draft in the history of the NFL. Right here. On behalf of the Packers, Packer fans here in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and everywhere, because our fans are everywhere, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to the NFL Draft at Lambeau Field. It is our honor and privilege to host this wonderful event in our community, particularly since we are the only community-owned team in the NFL. Just out of curiosity, how many of you are owners? We also have the best owners in the NFL. And we also want to celebrate the special connection we have with our fans that dates back to the early days of professional football. With the 23rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver. Matthew Golden, wide receiver.
So there's Packers take a
That's the
receiver.
guy the Broncos could have.
Are you happy, Coach?
But it's okay. Got someone to protect Bo Nix at least, so.
All right, so the Packers take a receiver. I think they'll still be a playoff team, but very suspect, unlike last year. All right, now for a team that was the most surprising team last year, the Vikings. Of course, last year.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't expect anything from them, especially when McCarthy went down for the season-ending injury. I thought with Sam Darnold, Vikings are probably going to be the worst team in the league, like 2-15 or something like that. But nope, they did an unbelievable 14-3, the best record for a wildcard team ever. Of course, they got destroyed by the Lions in the final week of the year, and they got destroyed by the Rams in the wild card. Now they let Darnold go, so now there's a quarterback concern with them, since we have no idea how McCarthy's going to play this year as long as he doesn't get injured. But yeah, I don't think they're going to maintain that 14-3 record. That was just like unbelievable luck. But we'll see what happens as they got 5 minutes on the clock. Let's go take a look at the Vikings stats. Where are they at? Here we go. So the Vikings... Wait, where's that? Here we go. So offense, they were 9th in scoring, 12th in yards, 6th in passing yards, and 19th in rushing yards. Defense, they were 5th in points, 16th in yards, 20th in passing yards, and second best run defense. Their passing offense was horrendous. So it looks like they
The
could
pick
use
is
some.
in for the Vikings.
So it looks like they could really use some secondary help, and potentially maybe get some
Texans are
running
now on the
support.
clock.
All right, so the
Oh, yeah.
Vikings picks in, and then the Texans are on the clock as we'll be in the divisional round soon.
For so many reasons.
And of course, I got spanked by the Eagles. Lovely.
Quite like the Green Bay Packers, and Mark Murphy did a great job of explaining some of those, and so that was the kind of moment you practically cannot get anywhere else in sports. Matthew Golden is going to address the crowd. Let's hear what he says. No, he went to the microphone, but perhaps not. Well, he'll address Molly instead. Here we go.
Oh my God, I'm 4-7 now. Are you serious?
Green Bay on 3. Hey, let me get a Green Bay on 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right, Verizon Business to Molly, who is with the man of the moment. Molly.
Matthew, that was a warm welcome from your new fan base.
We're waiting for the Vikings pick.
In front of all these Packers fans.
Man, it's a blessing. You know, I put in so much work to get here, and I got my family here, man. It means the most to me, man. I can't thank God enough. I can't thank God enough.
At Texas, you stepped up big when the lights were brightest. How will you do that here?
All right, as we're still waiting.
You should expect me, man. You know, I'm a reliable target, and you know, I get open anywhere on the field, man. Whatever the team needs me to do, that's what I'm willing to do. But you know, bring that dog anytime you do that.
All right, welcome home.
Thank you.
Guys,
Now, you mentioned the combine 4.29. That opened a lot of eyes. 58 catches, 9 touchdowns in his one season at Texas.
A 16th ranked player on my big board. Packers sitting at pick number 23. We talked about this year. 9 games, he averaged 20 plus yards per catch. Here he is with the Houston Cougars. Over a 2-year period, he had 76 catches.
What a catch.
13 yards a catch and 13 touchdowns at Texas this year. He was outstanding, and he came up big at critical moments in key games. SEC championship game against Georgia. Really impressive with 8 catches, 162 yards. Quarterfinal playoff game against Arizona State. 7 catches.
What a one-handed catch! My goodness.
Concentration drop, that was it. He's a guy who gets open, he can handle tight coverage, he catches the ball in traffic, up across the middle, he's quick out of his break, he sells the route, and I was impressed with the consistency, game in and game out, to know that he was understated. He was underappreciated all year for what he did for an offense that needed him, and every time they used a big catch, Matthew Golden got open and made, let's say, 9 games to average over 20 yards a catch. It's pretty impressive.
And I was impressed with his ability to separate. That's what a quarterback wants to see. Separation from the defender, knowing that you can throw the football.
All right.
Quickly, on time, and accurately.
Still waiting for the Vikings pick as Texans are on the clock.
They got a lot of number 2.
Yep, the Texans are on the clock.
When you look at Romeo Dobbs, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson come off the ACL, so this is a justified pick for the Packers.
All right, so the Minnesota Vikings are on the clock, and we've got Roger Goodell ready to make their pick. For every action, there is an equal opposite reaction. They will be booed as loudly as the Packers were cheered. Here comes Roger Goodell with the selection.
We're the 24th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The Minnesota Vikings select Donovan Jackson, guard, Ohio
A
State.
guard! Interesting. Going for an O-lineman. All right, then. I think the defense need more work, though, but okay.
Oh, trade alert. We got a trade.
But anyways, my prediction for the Vikings, I think they're going to take a big step back. I think they're going to probably be like sub 500. Unless McCarthy all of a sudden cooks, but we'll see. But I don't think the Vikings are going to go 14-3 again. That was just a fluke.
Sorry to interrupt you, but New York is on the clock again.
As the Giants made trader pick to the Tex.
They're giving up pick 34, pick number 99, and a 3rd round pick in 2026. The Giants.
So I think the Giants are going to draft the quarterback. So
So the Giants traded up as they're now on the clock instead of the Texans. Oh boy, maybe they can finally get their QB to replace Wilson in the future. Oh boy, could this be the opportunity?
yeah.
Otherwise,
this is a good
we already talked about.
opportunity for the Giants to
Otherwise, we
replace
already
Wilson.
talked about the Giants earlier. They need just everything fixed. They did get a defensive end earlier, but they really need help everywhere. Oh boy, 4 minutes left though. Finally, we have a trade again.
Yeah, second one of the night. I think Saunders is going to go first, then him. I will be shocked.
Oh yeah, I heard this Jackson Dart guy's really moved up the board to replace Shador. I mean, it's still a QB, which the Giants do need. It's either them or the Rams. Probably the only teams left that really would take a QB. Oh come on! They're gonna do a commercial as the Giants still on the clock with 3 minutes left.
The pick is in for the Giants.
Well then, my Patriots went from 4-7 out of the playoffs to 10-7 winning the division. Unbelievable. And yep, the pick is now in.
So the Rams are now on the clock.
All right.
For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side. It's Memorial Day.
I don't think you're able to drink that.
Summer starts now. Dogs on the table. You sure that's not the
I'm gonna shoot you with alcohol, bitch.
Alright, let's see how I do in the playoffs.
What do you typically offer for this role?
It's competitive.
Oh, we're playing the Jaguars, who I beat earlier the season.
Within
Yeah, finally got a win in the playoffs. We smoked the Jaguars.
Is it competitive?
Why do 80% of NFL players choose a Sleep Number Smart Bed? Because the higher my sleep IQ score, the better I play. But that's not the only reason.
He likes his side burned. I like my side soft.
Sleep Number does that. Effortless comfort all night. So sleeping on a smart bed is why you can play like this? Yeah, because I also like to sleep cool.
And I like to sleep even cooler.
And I really like it when we both get what we want. Sleep Number does that. Meet the Sleep Number Fine and Cool Smart Bed. Sleep up to 15 degrees cooler on each side. Visit a Sleep Number store near you.
Got a notification as we're waiting for the Giants pick to come in.
Don't worry. Dash Pass saves you money on DoorDash. So you can skip the trip to the grocery store and stay right where you need to be.
Alright. Still waiting, but hey, back to my Patriots franchise.
Chewy pharmacy order is on the way for Homer, the homebody who only goes outside when nature calls. So Mom uses Chewy to get his flea and tick meds at a great price. Delivered fast, right to their door. For quality meds, for life with pets, there's Chewy.
Experience the game like never.
Yeah! Conference championship! Let's go!
United Football League, Saturday at 7, and Sunday starting at noon on ESPN.
Welcome to the show, the one with unimaginable power and endless entertainment. Phillies,
Here we go.
big-time talent show.
Right, here we go. Gotta visit the Broncos in the AFC Championship. Come on, let's go to the Super Bowl.
ESPN.
We lost 23-13. Damn it.
Second trade of the night.
Damn it.
The New York Giants have just traded up into the Houston Texans spot at number 25. And Adam
Yeah,
Silver
who
has told us that if you
cares?
draft a quarterback, will it be to take that man? Shador
Dang, your Broncos got destroyed by the Cowgirls 50-9 in the Super Bowl. Oh, how's it feel? Oh, man. You there?
Yeah, I'm just curious about this pick.
50-9. Oh, my goodness.
Here we go.
Yep, here we go for Giants.
we
Could
go.
they take a QB?
We know it's a QB 100%, so.
Oh, we don't know about that. It's the Giants, remember.
It's clearly gonna be a.
The Houston Texans
We'll see.
traded the 25th pick to the New York Giants. With the 25th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Jackson Dart, quarterback.
Yeah, they took a quarterback. Let's go. We'll see if he can be the future to replace Eli, unlike Daniel Diapers.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe they didn't pick Sanders yet.
Well, I told you. So Sanders really fell on the draft board big time recently, and Dart here went up on the board big time. To the point now, they took him. And funny enough, what university is he from?
Colorado.
No, it says Ole Miss for Dart. Which, by the way, is the exact same college that Eli was from. Oh my goodness. All right.
Oh, Los Angeles traded the pick to Atlanta.
Up, and the Rams just traded their pick. So now it's the Falcons' pick. So now the Falcons are on the board. Oh boy. So we were supposed to talk about the Texans, but then they traded away. Then we were supposed to talk about the Rams. Now they traded their pick away. All right, so got here what the Falcons did.
Perfect.
So now the Falcons are going to have a second first-round pick.
After the whole thing is over. Fine, that's how it is.
Didn't come up big. Shador consistently did, despite being a rat. I like Jackson Dart. I love Shador. We'll see how it works out. Keep in mind, the quarterbacks that have dropped a little bit, how about the quarterbacks went ahead of them? Brett Favre, Dan McGuire, Todd Marinovich went ahead of Brett Favre. Joe Montana, Jack Thompson, Steve Fuller went ahead of Joe Montana. E.J. Manuel went ahead of Geno Smith, and 3 players were drafted on the Bengals before they took Boomer aside the second round. So it doesn't always go. The quarterbacks go in the order or the way they work out in the NFL. So for Shador, I still believe, I'm going to say it, though I'm proven wrong after this, the New Orleans
No.
Why
do?
Hey, that was nice doing some retro bowl.
And the division's weather, and for Shador, like Drew Brees and Peyton Manning, that dome would help him so much and give him a chance to have the great career that he's certainly capable of.
All right. So the Giants got their future quarterback, although we know Russell Wilson should start right now. And then maybe next year we'll see Dart finally.
Okay, let's see.
He's got a big arm. He is tough.
Now, unless there's some other trade that we don't know about, there's no reason anyone should draft a QB. So
2 trades in a row. Let's see.
So Sanders should probably fall to the second round now, unless one of the teams comes up is going to do something really insane.
Let's find out what we can from Sal Palantonio. He is covering the Giants for us tonight. Sal.
Well, Greeny, it's pretty clear that head coach Brian Dable likes Jackson Dart. Why? Because he has some of the same traits that Josh Allen had in Buffalo. That mobility, the dual threat ability, the big arm to get the ball down the field, the toughness. Those are the traits that Josh Allen showed Brian Dable in Buffalo. That's why Jackson Dart of Ole Miss is here and will be a New York Giant, Greeny.
All right, and so Mel, once again, this is a conversation that is going to be continued. These quarterbacks will be compared to each other for a long time. We know it'll happen. Shador Sanders will be drafted at some point here, whether it's tonight or tomorrow. The Giants have made this decision, and we will take a look at the history of first-round quarterbacks in New York Giants history. They drafted Phil Simms in 1979 out of Moorhead State, won them a Super Bowl. Phillip Rivers, we know, was not a Giant pick was made for Eli Manning. They took Daniel Jones a few years ago. We saw that not work out as they would have liked. And now Jackson Dart, the 25th pick in this draft of the New York Giants. Quick thought now is the Falcons will be making a pick.
Okay. Let's see who the Falcons pick.
As you have the picks in. Well, the Falcons... Yeah, they took a defensive end earlier. Could maybe use some more work on the defense. All right, here comes Goodell.
The Los Angeles Rams have traded the 26th pick to the Atlanta Falcons. With the 26th pick
Wow.
in the 2025 NFL Draft,
Okay.
the Atlanta Falcons select James Pierce Jr. Defensive end, Tennessee.
Another edge rusher.
Don't know how to react to that.
So 2 defensive ends for the Falcons. Okay. Well, they are focused on that defense, that's for sure.
Hey, Ravens, you want to trade a pick to someone else?
Get back this first-round pick to take James Pierce and the third-round pick. But in return, the Rams get a second-round pick this year and a first-round pick in 2026.
Oh, wow. The Falcons trade away their first-round pick next year to move up. Oh, my goodness.
Initial first-round draft picks coming into the draft.
Took an edge.
So the Falcons got the current pick they just did and a third-round pick. And the Rams got a second-round pick, a seventh-round pick, and the first round next year. My goodness. Man, the Falcons really sold a lot to move up. My goodness. All right. So with that, now the Ravens are on the clock with 5 minutes remaining. So now we can finally talk about a team again. Ravens,
Yeah.
for like the first...
Now can we talk about... Thank God.
Ravens,
Wait, hold on.
first
hold on.
time
Okay,
since
we're good.
Ravens first time since 1996. Their first year had an elite offense and a crappy defense last year. As my goodness, 12-5, made the playoffs and made it to the division round and just fell short as Lamar Jackson had an MVP season. This time he was robbed of it instead of getting an undeserved one 2 years ago. As what a year they had, one of the best offenses in Ravens history. Just fell short though, as offense third in league in points, number 1 offense in yards, seventh in passing yards, and number 1 rushing offense in the league. And defense, actually 9th in defense in points, 10th in yards, second to last in passing yards. Oh my God! And number 1 run defense. So really, their defense was elite, except for that pass defense, which was one of the worst in the league. So yeah, I think the answer is very obvious. They need to get secondary help, or get something to get that passing yards down. They're not going to get anything. They're not going to get no Super Bowl if they have the second to worst pass defense in the league. Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh man. As 3.5 minutes to go for them. And then after the Ravens, it's the reloaded. After the Raven, will you stop moving so I can look at? After the Ravens, it's the Lions and then the Commanders. We're down to our final 6 picks, people. One night's been we've gone over 3 hours and we're still going with 6 left. And
6 left, top 6.
And unless, like I said, with unless there's some crazy trade or another trade or something really stupid happens, no one should be taking Shador coming up for the rest of the night. Ravens don't need a QB.
Really?
Lions don't. Commanders don't. Bills don't. Chiefs don't. Eagles don't.
The pick is in. And the Lions are now on the clock.
Yep, there's the pick.
Not the Ravens, the Lions are now on the clock.
Ravens picks in. Now we wait on the Lions next.
It's like all their apps and channels are connected. Oh, it's all connected. Shows, movies, sports, cooking shows. What's she talking about? Tell me, how does DirecTV put all your favorite stuff on one home screen? Uncanny content sessions based on your watch history? Mind control.
Were you recently electrocuted?
A better way to watch whatever you want to watch.
Well, I for one am intrigued.
As we still wait for the Ravens pick. Oh boy.
You better not be using all the Old Spice.
Can you get my bag?
Check out the new whip. Nice. Fully custom. Pretty Bud Light can fit that puppy. As many Bud Lights.
Let's see.
A lot of Bud Light.
Still waiting.
Give me one of those. Yo, I can borrow Pro. I can borrow the arrow. Sure about that? So I was looking for a quarterback. You're right, Billy. He's too great.
Yep.
Every shoe for every athlete. Dick's is the go.
Hidden Valley Ranch is made with real ingredients for real ranch flavor that's impossible to put into words.
Because we're still waiting.
But that's pretty close. Indescribably delicious Hidden Valley Ranch.
Your nerves might be shot. Your hopes might be hiding in the crease. And you might be seeing the double. Or you might be feeling the heat. And you might be cursing drought. And you might be thinking, oh my God, this is it. Whatever it is, you're in it. And with the Stanley Cup playoffs, that's the only thing that matters. The Stanley Cup playoffs, Monday on ESPN. Welcome back to Green Bay and our coverage of the 2025 NFL Draft, which is presented by Courtyard by Marriott, a member of Marriott Bonvoy.
Do you do Madden perhaps?
Having fun tonight as their team did something very uncharacteristic, taking a wide receiver.
Tiger Shark.
It's been an action-packed last half hour.
I'm being ignored, people, as always.
Okay. Hey, let's see.
Did you hear what I said?
Traded up and took a pass rusher in James Pierce.
Did you hear what I said?
Are on the clock here, and in fact, their kick is in very quickly before the commissioner makes it now.
I'm being ignored, people, again.
Georgia, Dick Eman
This shit sucks.
Starks didn't have a great year, but he was a heck of a football player throughout his career.
Alright, here comes Goodell for the Ravens pick.
Let's see who Baltimore picks.
27th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The Baltimore Ravens select Malachi Starks, defensive back.
There we go, a safety. All right, finally so the Ravens did take a defensive player
Yeah.
for a secondary. Let's go, need that. All right, so Ravens.
No.
What?
The way you say Stark, and I saw his name, I was like, oh no.
So the Ravens took a safety. Good on them. And my pick so far, I think they're going to be a Super Bowl contender as long as their defense doesn't crap the bed. All right. So now up is the Lions, of course. Last year, they tied the Chiefs with the best record in the league, but they were better than the Chiefs, obviously.
That's what I was laughing at.
And they had, and the Lions had, I think, the fourth highest scoring offense of all time in NFL history, and they had the best record in franchise history, 15-2. And then they got one and done to the Commanders in the divisional round. So yeah, the main thing I already know, the Lions are going to be pretty much just like the Ravens, elite offense but horrible defense, and they had so many injuries on defense, especially losing Aiden Hutchinson earlier on in the year. That sucked for them, as they got 5 minutes remaining. As we take a look at the Lions stats, so here we go.
Okay.
Offense. Number one scoring offense, like I said. They had the second most yards, second best passing offense behind only the Bengals, and the sixth best rushing offense. So, like again, just elite. Now, defense, they were 7th in scoring, but 20th in yards, 30th in passing yards, and 5th in rushing yards. So they allowed a lot of yards, especially passing. So yeah, once again, just like the Ravens. Actually, a bigger option for the Lions would probably be their front four. That way, if Hudson gets injured again, they'll have another option. And the pick is in, too, by the way. All right, so now we're down to our final 4 picks.
Lions, yeah.
So next up is the Commanders.
Boy, now. Yep.
All right. Now, I asked you earlier, so can you answer? Do you play Madden? Ah! Ignored again.
Dun, dun. Tim,
What? You keep ignoring.
I can't hear you. What are you saying?
What do you mean you can't hear me?
There we go. Now I can hear you.
Do you play Madden?
I can hear you now.
But you didn't answer the question now.
Are you just being a microphone?
Can you hear me? My goodness.
No. Okay, now he's doing it to me.
Can you hear me? Because Mike on OBS says I'm talking
so
loud and
lonely.
clear.
Let's see.
Because I'm talking loud and clear. And I've asked you multiple times. Do you play Madden?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
But do you play Madden?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I know you can
Yes.
I know you can hear me. But you didn't answer the question. Do you play Madden? My goodness.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh my god. I guess I'm gonna have to freaking type in since you won't respond.
Uh-oh, they're booing. Oh yeah, I forgot the Lions are in the same division as the Packers. Oops.
There. That's my question. Jeez. My goodness, that hard to answer a question.
Oh my god. I was like...
I like how I typed the question in, you still haven't even answered yet.
Yeah. The Lions, they need... not a lot of stuff, but they need... They need to work more on the O-line. I think the O-line needs a little bit more work on it.
Really? Their O-line?
Yeah.
I thought their defense
Like,
needed more work.
If you look at one of the two, but
You have to fill in the holes, the gaps that you have. Talking about them being decimated on defense, they have to accumulate the depth, especially at the edge position.
Yeah, they got to get somebody who can come off the edge. I mean, they need some
now the Commandos is a
they need some help.
hard one.
He needs a guy. He needs
They need a
juice off the
good
edge.
O-line.
I mean,
You gotta agree with me now.
Well, we'll get to them when we're done with the Lions.
Expected to be a defensive fix simply because of the fact that they had so many injuries. And it really just derailed everything they were trying to get done last year. See what happens. They were one of
Yeah.
the teams that didn't have multiple players with 5 sacks last season. Aiden Hutchinson
Alright, let's
led the
see.
team
Here we go.
with sacks, and he only played in 5
Who
games
do
last
the
year.
Lions pick?
What direction do we look at as the commissioner makes
Alright,
his way to
still
the
can be
stage?
heard.
Echo what Lou was saying. I think Carson Schwarzenegger's another name that we're going to be hearing at some point in time. You're talking about the Jack Campbell, but Carson Schwarzenegger from UCLA. All this kid does is make impactful plays. He is a tackling machine. Here's the commish with the selection.
Alright, here comes the Lions pick.
28 picks in the 2025 NFL Draft. The Detroit Lions select Tyleek Williams, defensive tackle, Ohio State.
Yep, defensive tackle. There we go. Just what the Lions should be doing. Front 4. Alright, so the Lions took a defensive tackle, and my prediction is Lions are a Super Bowl contender. They just gotta have their defense healthy.
Now on the clock, so let's say...
Alright, now the Commanders are on the clock. Alright, so the Commanders, of course. I didn't think much of them going into the year. I thought they were going to be still rebuilding with Jaden Daniels. And oh my god, Jaden Daniels! And the Commanders out of nowhere went 12-5, the most wins they had since 1991. Made the playoffs for the first time since 2020. They went on the road, beat the Buccaneers in upset. Then they spanked the Lions to make the conference championship for the first time since 1991. And then they got destroyed by the Eagles. What a turnaround they had. That was insane. Anyways, stats. The Commanders, 5th in points, 7th in offensive yards. Their passing offense is 17th in the league, though, which is surprising, and 3rd in rushing offense.
Yeah.
Defense, they're 18th in points, 18th in yards allowed. They had the 3rd best pass defense, but their run defense was one of the worst in the league, 30th. Oh boy. So yeah, their defense is kind of mid, so they need to work on that defense coming up. And they got 4 minutes left.
Yeah.
Will Shedeur Sanders hear his name called tonight? According to our
All right, so it's the Commanders, Bills, Chiefs, and then Eagles are wrapping up unless there's a trade.
Yep.
The number one rated brand in cordless outdoor power pushes the boundaries of innovation to power the unexpected.
Yeah, the two teams who traded the picks.
Experience the
There's 3 trades tonight, remember, so far.
advanced digital controls.
Yeah. One for pick 2 and picks 25 and 26.
Takes innovation to the next level. One battery powers 90 plus tools.
Is it pick 2? I could be wrong. Let me double check.
Ego retailer near you.
Yeah, it's pick 2.
Better than a limited time deal, an unlimited time deal. That's why the $5 biggie bag with a junior bacon cheeseburger is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and applewood smoked bacon.
3 minutes left for the Commanders.
For the best deal of all time, that's
Yep.
Wendy's.
AT&T isn't a guarantee because not everything in life is guaranteed. Don't sweat it. Get our best deals on smartphones like iPhone 16 Pro on us with your choice of our best plans. That's the AT&T guarantee. Your iPhone any year, any condition, and get up to $1,000 towards your new iPhone. Great presentation, Tim. Could you email me the part about Geico, making it easy to switch and save hundreds? Oh yeah, sure. You don't know my name, dear.
His name is Charlie, get it?
I just get you mixed up with the other guy.
His name is Charlie. Charlie the Gecko. Oh, by the way, the Commanders pick us in, and Buffalo's on the clock now.
Me, I want this to be over.
With new value at McDonald's, you get more than you expect. Like buy a double cheeseburger.
Yep, picks now in, so Bills are on the clock.
6 final calls for a 6-piece chicken nuggets. Get more than you expect with new McValue.
The 2025 NFL schedule will be released soon. We are ready for the new era here.
Yep, May 14th is when the schedule will be released. And, of course, I'll stream reacting to it when it does. So get your clocks ready, people. The 14th. Can't wait.
Quarterbacks, they define this rivalry. They've only gotten better. Unbelievable.
A Super Bowl rematch for the ages.
Welcome back.
Yeah, the NBA playoffs are here. And it's about to be ridiculous, unbelievable, unfair, downright nasty, straight up, can't miss, don't miss, strap in this. This isn't about who's next. This is about who's now. This time, it's different. The NBA playoffs, Friday on ESPN.
It looks like the picks coming in now.
NFL draft is
Commanders, and that's the Bills, Chiefs, and the Eagles wrap it up.
the official hotel of the NFL. We're back in Green Bay, the Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
Making the next selection, number 29, after a magnificent season led by their young quarterback, J.D. Daniels, all the way to the NFC Championship game. And then Mel making all of these additions that we see here during the offseason, most notably Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil. So what direction do they look here?
They've got an edge rusher, a big corner, and they want a speedy running back at some point. Obviously, the offensive line keep helping out Jane Daniels. They did that with Laramie Tunsil coming in. I think when you look at this, it's all about Jane, but I'd say a big corner. Will Johnson still on board with his length and athleticism. And Mike Green, the pass rusher out of Barstool, is a guy we know from a talent standpoint and the production that he had at Barstool this year can get off the edge to their quarterback.
Here's the thing I would say, Brady. Think about the team with tonight. You have a young quarterback. You help the young quarterback either with the receiver or protection. I think they help the young quarterback some way.
We're going to find out in a moment. Here comes the commissioner again, number 29, Washington. The pick is in, and here comes Roger Goodell.
Here we go.
29th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Josh Connerly Jr., tackle, Oregon.
Okay.
So the Commanders took an
Buffalo.
offensive tackle. Interested. Since it was really the defense that needed more work, seen more than offensive line. But yep, that's the pick. Now Commanders, my prediction, they're a playoff team, although I think they might take a step back a little bit from 12-5. That was really overachieving from last year. I don't think they're going to go 12-5 or better this year. All right, so now the Bills,
Buffalo,
who are 6.5 minutes left. The Bills had another incredible year, as no one's surprised. Allen got MVP, even though it wasn't really deserved. Went 13-4, got the number 2 seed.
Yeah.
They destroyed the Broncos in the wild card round, and they hold off the Ravens in the divisional round before they lost a close one to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. So, what do they need to finally, hopefully in their eyes, finally get over the hump, beat the Chiefs, and make the Super Bowl for the first time since 1993? So, let's go take a look at their stats. Let's see if it'll load. So let's see. Bills had the second best offense in the league, of course, behind the lines. They were 10th in yards, 9th in passing yards, and 9th in rush yards. So they had an elite offense. Defense, however, they were 11th in points, 17th in yards, 24th in passing yards, and 12th in rushing yards. So yeah, definitely defense needs more work. Especially to replace Von Miller coming up since he's old.
Will be helpful for the Bills.
Yeah, they gotta work on that defense.
Yeah. So, because if they focus on the defense, the more chances of them making to the Super Bowl now.
Fell just short of making it last year.
Yeah.
The next piece that they need to get an explosive back in the backfield, true running back. I know they got Deebo Samuel.
4 minutes and 45 seconds for the Bills.
But they've got some nice things going on, and here we now sit with the Buffalo Bills.
The Bills picking at 30. This is a team that has done as much winning as any team ever without taking it all
See?
away. There's 78 wins, including playoffs.
That D-line's screwing them with... So I think they have to focus on that D-line so they can be good. See? So if they focus on the D-line, they should be good. I'll slip money in the Rapids pockets. Oh, by the Bills pick is in.
Hey, there it is. So now the Chiefs should be on the clock.
Are now on the clock. Yep. The one left for this year's Super Bowl. Or the season, whatever you want to call it.
It's just short of the three-peat. What a beautiful defensive game the Eagles did in the Super Bowl. That was such gloriness.
Oh, yeah. The Eagles did a perfect job of predicting where the Chiefs are gonna go.
And you're looking forward to visiting the Eagles this year. Yeah.
We're gonna get killed.
Are you ready for Saquon Barkley to put up 6 rushing touchdowns on you?
Probably. At this rate, my drunk ass is probably like, oh yeah, we're okay.
You're like, don't hurt me.
Don't hurt me, just kept.
End my existence. Like last time we visited y'all, you were like 51-23 on us. Anyways, the pick's in. We're still waiting for them to announce it.
Okay, we got some mobility scooter. Oh, please. Okay. Good.
know where they can turn the football over and give Josh Allen one more possession, give him one more crack at the football.
And we can see the commissioner making his way to the podium with a very special visitor.
I didn't know it had sound. Let me see if I can mute that.
Stepping up to have an even greater impact as a wish maker for Make-A-Wish. For the second time tonight,
Here we go.
we have the opportunity to grant a wish for a deserving young man to announce the first pick for his favorite team. Tommy. Tommy is a 16-year-old living with a neuromuscular disorder, is a huge Buffalo Bills fan, and he's here with me to make the announcement for his beloved Bills. Go ahead, Tommy.
Let's go, Buffalo! With the 30th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Maxwell Harrison. Let's go!
And it's a cornerback they took. All right.
Let's go indeed. Cornerback out of
So corner the Bills took. And my prediction, they're a Super Bowl contender. I think they're still better than the Chiefs the last several years, but they just can't get over the hump.
Yeah.
They could beat them in the regular season. Remember, they gave them their first loss last year, but then when it gets to the playoffs, they just can't do it. But yeah, Super Bowl contender. All right, now up is our Super Bowl runner-up, the Chiefs.
Whoa!
So now up
Chiefs?
And she wants
to the field, to the Eagles.
What? What'd you say?
Kansas City just traded a pick to Philadelphia.
What?
What?
Well then, the Eagles and Chiefs just trade. Okay, so now the Eagles are on the clock. Okay. So instead of talk about the Chiefs, we'll talk about the Eagles now, who have 5 minutes on the clock still. So anyways, Eagles. Yeah. I was concerned about their defense going into the beginning of the year. Didn't think they were going to do much other than being a playoff team. And they start off 2-2, looking very ugly. But then after that, they went on a roll. They won every single game except the Commanders game. And they dominated. And they went on to win their first title since 2017 and their 4th title overall, I believe. 1940.
Yep.
Wait, no, actually, their 5th title overall. 1948, 1949, 1960, 2017, 2024 now. Dominant years. They're going to try and become the first team since the Chiefs of 2022 and 23 to defend back-to-back titles. As they looked really good. And I was about to look up the Chiefs, but now we'll look up the Eagles really quickly. As the Chiefs and Eagles just swapped places right now, looks like.
Yeah.
So anyways,
we don't know what the result of this trade is. Something's big gonna happen because.
So Eagles,
why trade a pick? That is shocking.
So Eagles were 7th in points. They were 8th in yards. They were 29 in passing yards, which is pretty bad, even though Hurts had an amazing year. And they were 2nd rushing offense behind only the Ravens. Defense, though, what a turnaround. They had the 2nd best defense. They were the number 1 defense in yards allowed, number 1 defense in pass yards allowed, and 10th best rush defense. Yeah. Just elite defense, and it was a beautiful sight. Their only weakness is passing yards, but that's just more of just how they play offensively because Jalen Hurts just doesn't pass a lot. But he's still a really good QB. So their major weakness is not necessarily much of a weakness for them either. All right.
Oh my God, voice crack.
So for the Eagles, it's really just depth. It doesn't really matter who they pick. It's just for depth.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Eagles pick is in, speaking of which, so I'm just curious why they traded the pick.
So after the Eagles, it's the Chiefs, and that's going to wrap up tonight. And tomorrow the Browns have the number 1 pick of round 2. All right, Eagles picks in like we said, as we're just waiting for them, and then the Chiefs, and then we're done for the night.
Don't forget, this is the second to last pick, dude.
Yeah, that's what I said. The last 2 picks.
Man, Buffalo, they getting the ultimate competitor, the ultimate teammate, and they getting somebody that's gonna get Josh Allen the ball back.
Oh, that's actually a pretty cool jacket.
All right, congratulations. Before we go, let's see the inside of that jacket.
And so Max Hairston is headed to Buffalo. I'll tell you what, the NFL draft makes for a strange bedfellows. Kansas City and Philadelphia met in the Super Bowl just a few months ago. Now they've swapped picks here.
Yeah.
The Eagles have moved up to 31.
I'm curious what the details of the pick is.
On the trade in just a moment. The Super
Because
Bowl champs are on the clock.
if they traded the picks, if they swapped picks, they clearly traded it for something. We need details on this trade, like.
Trains. Trains that sense what isn't on the schedule. Trains that use the power of Dell AI and Intel to see hundreds of miles of tracks.
Alright.
Clearing the way.
So we're still waiting for the pick.
So
Yep.
you arrive exactly where you belong.
This combo meal's got combinations. Make this thing your own creation. Entree, drink, and choice of size. Oh, and it's free to swap fries. Have it your way.
If you keep making that face, it's gonna stay like that.
I'm trying to get my own car insurance.
USAA. Grandpa was in the military. You should membership with your mom so she can share with you.
USAA. Check if you're eligible today.
You may kiss the bride. Oh my god. It's our baby girl.
Man.
You might have heard of going through a little upgrade with my tats. So when Verizon announced that everyone gets a free phone on any plan, pain free, count me in.
Try and beat it. I'll give you a sec. Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. Dak going for it, and he fumbles. Brilliant recovery with the Lowe's app. He always delivers. And so does the Lowe's app. In-store, online, our Lowe's team has you covered.
Alright, we're still waiting.
Yep.
At Macy's, the fragrance destination.
Being Courtyard's official ambassador has opened a new world for me. Now I get to hang out with NFL fans all season long. See you on game day.
I lived in Italy. And away game was traveling to Germany, France. That was where I started building my passion for football.
Alright. Still freaking waiting.
Of this year's NFL draft, a swap of the final 2 picks between the 2 teams who just met in the Super Bowl. You see Philadelphia giving up a 5th rounder this year to move up 1 spot. We'll see what it is they choose to do very quickly. We know, again, we've had the 2 quarterbacks selected tonight. It seems
Here we go.
impossible to imagine that we'll see another. So that will be tomorrow's
Alright, here comes Eagles pick.
The Kansas City Chiefs have traded the 31st pick to the Philadelphia Eagles. With the 31st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Jihad Campbell.
Okay, just I'm telling you, the Chiefs pick is in now.
Yep, linebacker.
time. He committed to
All right.
Clemson at the age of 16.
Of course. Like I said, the Eagles just need depth pretty much. There was like really no major weakness. And yep, my Super Bowl prediction, the Eagles will be a Super Bowl contender again, try and repeat. Alright. Bar trade, last up is the Chiefs. So I guess we'll start talking about, of course, the Chiefs. Going into last year, we're the two-time champs trying to make the repeat. And they went 15-2, which is the best record in franchise history, but they were not impressive, as almost all their wins were close games. Not impressive whatsoever.
Yeah.
And then the playoffs happened, and they beat the Texans, then they beat the Bills, and became the first team since the 2016-28 Patriots to make 3 straight Super Bowl appearances, as they were on the verge to make the first three-peat since the 65-67 Packers, only until the Eagles shut them down completely on a beautiful defensive effort. So now they're going to try and make their 4th straight Super Bowl appearance since the 1993 Bills, and their picks in already. Alright, so that's going to be it for tonight, once their picks in. So the Browns have the first pick of tomorrow night, and then the Texans are right afterwards.
Let's talk about the people who traded the picks we didn't discuss about. Can we? Just for fun.
I don't hear
Houston.
And the not the Lions, the Rams, and all that, but
and that's it. So
we'll think about when that time comes. Just waiting for the Chiefs pick to come in.
They drafted Cooper DeJean, who they stole in the second round. Why? Because he was coming off an injury. They waited it out, and he was an impactful all year and was a key guy in the Super Bowl, right? So again, Howie Roseman, I'd say Hall of Fame without question, GM. Nobody does it better. Now, to get a Jahad Campbell, who, like I said, I had been 21.
All right. So we're still waiting for the Chiefs pick.
Yep.
Right, exactly. Wait till he's completely healthy. Shoulders are 100% before you get him back on the field, and they can wait it out.
You mentioned Howie Roseman. That was the Eagles' NFL high 11th trade involving a first-round pick since he took over in December of 2015. And he is standing by now. And when I say he, Jahad Campbell is standing by with Molly. Verizon Business takes us down to the stage. Molly.
Jahad, the defending Super Bowl champs just traded up for you. How will you repay their belief in you?
I'm going to give them 110%. Everything I got of me. You know, the richer just got rich.
You told me that this week felt like an out-of-body experience. What is it like standing up here as the newest member of the Philadelphia Eagles?
Best team in the nation. I mean, what can I say? E-A-G-L-E-S. There we go.
Creedy.
Thank you. He already knows. Molly, he already knows. It's a great moment. Again, a young man who suffered those injuries thought he might have to wait until tomorrow night. And here's his name called again in a trade with Kansas City.
I was still waiting.
The Eagles tried trading up earlier in the draft to go get Jahad Campbell, and the trade fell through, but they were able to persevere and trade up one spot. A lot of people might ask, why would you trade up one spot? Well, I think it's
so the Eagles just traded a 5th round draft pick.
It only costs you a 5th round draft pick, and you've got 20 picks in the next 2 rounds to use as ammunition. And now they get a player who, as Mel mentioned, could have gone from 12 to 15. He did have surgery on one of his shoulders. He's going to need surgery on another shoulder, potentially after the season. He's got a knee issue as well, but the talent is undeniable, Greedy.
No question about it. That feels a little bit like a steal, and that feels a little bit like why, as you mentioned, Howie Roseman is a legend of the profession. And so you see there's Kansas City, there's their legendary coach, Andy Reid, as they will make the final pick of this first round. They're accustomed to doing that. They've won a bunch of Super Bowls in recent seasons. Mel, what does this team need?
I look at a kid who's got about injuries, right, with Jahad Campbell. How about Josh Simmons at Ohio State? Left tackle, was playing great football, so he got the knee injury October 12th against Oregon. Could have been a top 5 to 10 pick. Left tackle for Patrick Mahomes. If I'm a team like that, I can wait on Josh Simmons. If he's ready for camp, ready for a start, great. If we have to wait a couple more weeks or a month and a half, fine.
If you look at, okay, I'll finish it up. Go ahead.
Here's the thing I'll say about the Chiefs. The only time Patrick Mahomes has lost a Super Bowl is when he wasn't protected. You got to make sure the kid's protected. This has to be some form of protection for Mahomes.
No, over Josh Simmons. When he was healthy, the end of last year,
All right.
quarter of this season,
Okay. Final pick of round 1. Let's see.
he's just coming off of that patella tendon injury.
Here's the commissioner to announce the final pick of round 1 of this year's draft in Green Bay.
With the 32nd pick in the 2025
Yeah.
NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Josh Simmons, tackle, Ohio State.
All right, they took an offensive tackle, which probably will be needed because their O-line was so bad in the Super Bowl. It was just like the Super Bowl in 2020 as well. So yeah, good pick potentially. So my prediction, I don't think they're stat-wise, I don't think they're really a Super Bowl contender, but as long as Mahomes is there, we have to always take him seriously as a Super Bowl contender, but I don't think they're that good enough to be a Super Bowl contender, but he makes them, Mahomes is enough to make them warrant it. All right, and with that,
Houston. Wait, we didn't talk about the other 2 teams. Houston.
everyone thought they were going to
What do
be
you
a
think?
Super Bowl contender this year, and I didn't think so, and they ended up being about exactly what they thought they were, even though they actually played worse than they actually did. Yet they still made the playoffs because the AFC South sucked. They destroyed the Texans before they lost a close game to the Chiefs. And my prediction right now is pretty much the same thing, just a wild card team with the division win, unless everyone else in the AFC South shows up. And the Rams, they completely shat the bed start at the beginning of the year, remember, just like in 2023. Then they turned around with an elite defense, and they won the division 10-7. And then they destroyed the Vikings, remember, 27-9 in the wildcard round, and they almost beat the Eagles in the division round. They gave the Eagles their closest fought game in the playoffs. Man, just think if they held on, a whole bunch of shit could have changed. But in the end, they couldn't get the victory done. And my prediction right now is... not sure. It's going to depend on how the rest of the NFC West does, but they are a playoff contender, but we'll see how long they last, because Stafford is getting up there in age, so they need to eventually replace him. All right, and there you go. Covered all the teams. All right, guys. So that's it for the stream. What a fun night it was. I can't wait to see... I'm not going to be able to probably see tomorrow because I'm going to be busy with other stuff. And like I said, we're not going to be streaming tomorrow at all. I'm going to be too busy. But I cannot wait for the rest of the draft to happen. And of course, May 14th is when the schedule is going to be released, and I'll stream reacting to it, so tune in for that. And September cannot get here quick enough to see the kickoff game. Alright guys, so we're going to wrap up the stream here. So, hope you enjoyed, and see you next year's draft, and the season cannot get here fast enough.